Father, help. Mother, help us, please. My parents are so needy. Hey, why do your parents text you like they're trapped souls? Are they swimming in the river Styx? Is that where Hades puts all the souls? What's going on with that? What's up with what's the family dynamic here? What's going on, guys? And welcome back to EmKay. My name is Damian Lee, and today we're looking at the very best of when Twitter is nice and not all political, because it's non-political Twitter. Feels a little too convenient that an Odyssey would happen to a guy named Odysseus. Don't you think? Don't you think that's just a bit of a coinky-dink? Makes you wonder, makes you think, doesn't it? Feel bad for the guys in Saw, because tomorrow's gonna be a bummer too. Oh God, no, it's 9/10, fuck. Seeing people my age becoming teachers really makes me wonder about the activities of my own teachers when I was a kid. Like, did my teachers leave work, put on a crop top, go out and drink 6 margaritas only to show up the next day extremely hungover and we just never knew? Yep, every time. Not saying it's true, but Bruce Wayne as Batman kinda makes sense to me. Y'all just be fucking saying anyone is Batman now. What's next? That fuck-ass journalist is Superman? Fate used to be believable. Be for real, man, all right? You guys are fucking crazy. What other wacky shit you gonna throw at me? You know, this brings a bigger question. Secret identities are so funny because so many superheroes are absolutely ass at, keeping their identity secret. Take, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. How many guys in the world have a beard like that? Look like a goddamn blonde Robin Hood from Shrek. Or like Daredevil went to a Christmas party in a sweater that just straight up said, "I'm not Daredevil." Because right before that comic run that's in, Fisk just told everyone, he's like, "Hey, by the way, that blind ass lawyer, that's Daredevil." In case you wanted to know. I do think Batman's probably the worst offender of this though. I think everyone more or less in his rogues gallery is ask Bruce Wayne. Yeah, we knew. The beauty of becoming an old man, is that you become invisible. You can wear anything you want. You can cut your hair or not cut your hair, trim your mustache or just let it grow wild. Nobody notices and nobody cares. You're incognito and you're not coming back. That sounds beautiful, man. It's like wearing an invisibility cloak and you could just do whatever you want. Your fashion, your choice. And you got a fly-ass mustache, man. You're proud of that bad boy. As a bat biologist, I just want to give a shout out to bats, who for years we've been saying are super sophisticated at dodging one another and flying in synchrony. Now that we've used high-speed cameras on them, turns out they crash into each other all the time. Yeah, bats are cool. Yeah, man, it was a myth that bats would use their echolocation to maneuver around one another. They're always crashing into each other. I remember the first time I asked my dad to sign something for me in high school. He shook his head and said, "If I sign this, you're gonna have to learn how to forge my signature. If you sign it from the start, you'll be able to sign whatever you want and they'll never know." All right, teaching me how you did it, huh, Dad? Huh, Pops? And your dad and his dad before him? It's a family tradition, forgery. I'm glad we could all get together and have this family time. Next, we'll try it with bank statements. The James Webb Telescope may have discovered a brand new class of cosmic object, the black hole star. If I learned anything from the song Black Hole Sun, it's that Chris Cornell didn't know shit about astrophysics. Really? That black hole star might say differently, man. Well, don't I feel stupid? You just might, but what the fuck is a black hole star? That I want to know. So in 2022, little red dots were spotted by the James Webb Telescope, and they were dubbed the Cliff, and it suggests that these dots are a new class of cosmic object called black hole stars. All a black hole star is a black hole growing so rapidly that it lights up the gas surrounding it, making it glow like a star would. Which, if that's what they are, then that could solve things like, how supermassive black holes were around very early in the universe. But the actual, whatever they are, the little red dots, we don't know what they actually are for a fact. Space is fucking cool, man. Typing in your email address on the TV is a different type of irritation. Absolutely, bro. Are you kidding me? I don't think there's anything. I love that a lot of things started giving you a QR code to scan so you could just type it in on your phone. Having to type in my email and then my fucking password on a television. Oh. It's the most inconvenient thing I think you could do in the age of streaming. We are so ready. Bad Bunny will headline the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show, and look it, he's speaking non-English and singing in non-English. What is that non-English, you might ask? Well, come close. Could just be Spanish. Now don't freak out, all right? He's a US citizen like the rest of us. Puerto Rico, baby. I'm chronically online in a different and more sophisticated way than you are. Oh, really? And what does that mean, good fellow? While you're playing Marvel Rivals and watching Minecraft videos, I'm over on chess.com and reading literature on the archive, the Internet Archive, mind you. I'm just more of a, more well-rounded and put-together individual than you could ever dream of being. I like to have a bit of red wine when browsing my internet. My bookmarks include the literature of Robert Chambers and Hemingway and Shakespeare. How do you find out that you were the side piece? After my ex ran a red light and totaled my car, his girlfriend showed up to our accident. When she said, "I'm his girlfriend," to the officer, he looked at me like, "Ma'am, please, I know what we both just heard, but don't. Not right now. We got it. This is a whole situation." Have any of you heard of the Harvard MIT pigeon prank? An MIT student dressed in black and white striped shirt went to the Harvard football stadium every day of one summer, blowing a whistle while scattering breadcrumbs or birdseed to coax neighborhood pigeons down onto the field. At Harvard's opening game of the season, upon the referee's first whistle, it said that hundreds of pigeons descended onto the field, causing a half-hour delay. This bitch empty! Tweet! My dad whistles in a specific melody when he comes to refill the bird feeders. The birds have started singing it when they're empty. That's because birds are smart as fuck, man. Like, what is it? Is it crows that recognize you? Like, crows recognize people. They're smart as fuck. Oh boy. In the checking account, $3,000. In the savings account, $296. 401k, 9.8 mil. Checking, $3,000. Savings, $296. Wife, let's go on vacation? Me, can't. We're broke. Few will understand. I get what he's saying, because it's like he doesn't have access to his entire wealth because he's not retired quite yet. But if you're closing in on nearly 8 figures for income, I feel like you could probably take the hit and pay the early taxes to get your 401k, right? And treat your wife to a vacation. That's the least you could do, I feel like. If colors could be dry humped, I would be dry humping this, the Cherry Coke Pantone. I'd be all up in that thing. I'd be soaking like a Mormon. All right, I just want you to know what I'm all about. I saw this in a fever dream. The Walmart Waffle House combination. Imagine body slamming someone in Waffle House and crashing through the floor to the toy aisle like Redneck Tekken. God, can you imagine the combos you could be pulling off? And don't forget, there's a McDonald's inside the Walmart too. We can get real crazy up in here. Couple unexpectedly delivers baby at Chick-fil-A. Baby will get free Chick-fil-A food for life and guaranteed job at 14. Can't believe my mom gave birth to me in a hospital. Selfish. I think you're not someone who can talk about, opportunity, Joshua Peck. While your mom may have selfishly had given birth to you in a hospital, you were a Nickelodeon kid, which contractually means you did have to interact with Dan Schneider, but also, did you make a Nickelodeon bag? I would assume. And you've had other opportunities since, Josh. So I don't think it's all that. I think the baby can have free Chick-fil-A. All right, she can have her homophobic chicken. It's okay. Just had drinks with a friend I hadn't seen in 5 years, and she remembered things about me that I've forgotten. That wasn't a fun time. It was a bad day, honestly. I mean, if we're cutting right to the brass tacks, never hanging out again. Remember that time you had that embarrassing thing and fell down? No, I didn't remember that actually. That one, I faded that one from my memory, but I appreciate that. Thank you. MCU shows aren't bold enough to do anything. Yeah, Darcy and Howard the Duck had a baby together last year. I would say that's pretty bold. A loving family? You don't see that often in the MCU. Look, it's a big-ass egg. Once I went to a party with my new husband, full of people he knew from work, but I didn't. A guy came up to us, turned to me and said, "You must be his wife." I turned to my husband and said, "You have a wife?" Should have seen the guy's face. That sounds like a fun, wholesome prank. I feel like that's on the same level of prank as introducing your wife as your ex-girlfriend. It's just on, the onus is on her for the silly though. I'm not an early bird or a night owl. I'm some sort of permanently exhausted pigeon. No bread for me, please. I think I'll faint. Melatonin might be nice, and maybe some Z-Quil. That'd be lovely, but no matter how much I take, I'll never be well rested. My employer emailed me to congratulate me on my 4-year anniversary with a link to a button that said view recognition, which takes you to a page that says you are recognized. Banks email like, we have a message for you in your inbox. And then the message is like, hello, we are your bank. Thank you for banking with us. Do you want to put $1 in? $1 in for the bank, maybe? How come realism in games only applies to shit that sucks? And not, for instance, the fact that most flashlights do not actually run out of battery after 3 minutes. And good quality tools will literally outlive you if you take good care of them. If somebody sold me an axe that broke after chopping down 10 trees, I would go back to their shop and beat the shit out of them. With the broken axe, I'd be using the handle and shit to, you kidding me? I'm not crazy about realism in games, man. I don't know, it's like a scale, because it could be both ways. Like crafting, gunplay, etc. That behaves in ways that make sense on how that world works. I don't know, there's some things where their realism is just some bullshit. Like there's like Minecraft mods that are like, oh, we're ultra realistic, and it's just like everything kills you. And that's their, so realistic, holy shit. I don't know, maybe I'm just not in the demographic for the realism stuff. The best air conditioner ever made. It's got 2 settings, Antarctica and Bahamas. Engine gonna rattle like a 97 Civic, but it ain't gonna fail you. Can't even hear the TV when it's on, cause that bitch is loud. And they're reliable. Listen, I don't need, it needs to be 70 degrees. No, either you're freezing my nipples off or I'm gonna wanna kill myself from the heat. It's one of the two. And finally, there's an air conditioner that meets my particular needs. When the dude loves Credence and hates the Eagles and the Big Lebowski, did the Coens mean that as a commentary about CCR's earthy authenticity versus the Eagles' slick country pop? Or was the joke that there's no difference between these bands and the dude just has arbitrary taste? Well, I don't know. Why don't you ask the Coens? Well, if we're to analyze the dude as a character, it's probably absolutely his desire to hold on to his authenticity. He might view the Eagles as sellouts. So, that could be what it is, but also the dude is a mellow guy, so this outburst is very funny. Who knows? Could be a number of things. I don't know. I didn't write it. I'm not the Coens. Visiting my parents and I have encountered a contraption. I don't know what it's used for, but it seems like they have things figured out over here. Huh. That month where everyone pretended their stupid boyfriends think about the Roman Empire, what was that about? So that whole thing started in like 2022 because some influencer posted a bunch of screenshots showing how often men thought about the Roman Empire. And it just blew up from there. But if I'm being honest, I never think about the Roman Empire. I wasn't there. Who gives a fuck? I get it. Rome was around for a very long time, so there's a lot of things and records that can be found from the time period that can be referenced, and like political issues like immigration policy and welfare reform can be traced back to Rome and whatnot. And Rome, like the empire as a topic, that's always been around. I don't get it, man. My boyfriend once paid for our entire giant Costco order, and I was like, since you got that, I'll get us food from their little food court, forgetting that everything there costs $3 or less. I mean, it's the thought that counts, though. That's sweet. I wouldn't even be upset at that. I just paid for the order, and you're getting us, thank you. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Happy Mega Evolution release. Nothing says family fun like watching a scalper walk out with a cart full of booster packs while kids stare at bare shelves. This is why we have purchase limits. Walmart, you should do the same. I want you to imagine you're a kid. You've been following the Pokemon Mega Evolution release, and you get to the store. You walk into Walmart with your mom and dad. You're bright-eyed. You're like, oh my god, wait, Pokemon. No. This guy, nothing but gulping behavior, all right? Nothing but real swalot behavior, just eating all the cards, carrying them all the way. Oh, yeah. I fucking love Pokemon, bro. Profit, bro. Gotta profit on them all. I think, obviously, there's some people who will just like go and collect these cards and they do it for collection, but that's not who we're talking about here. We're talking about the people who like think they've outsmarted the world of finance by turning their hobby into a hustle. Stupid. It's all crypto type bullshit. It's the same kind of people, you know what I mean? What phenotype of woman is this, guys? I'm so curious. The people yearn for Shelley Duvall. Rest in peace. My nephew just told this man in Chipotle, my auntie's body is not for your eyes. I was feeling so protected and loved till I turned around to see the finest man I ever seen in my life. Gotta show my nephew a flowchart. It's just the fucking hello human resources meme, bro. It's all it is. But also your nephew did not say that. Your nephew did not say this is like, and everybody clapped. Your nephew did not say this shit. Your nephew said, can I get a burrito and tacos? That's what your nephew said. Your nephew's a glutton. Giants 0-3, Jets 0-3. This is the worst September in New York history. Well, I can think of one September that was significantly worse. Even if, you might not remember it, but we were told to never forget, so you kind of look like a jerk now, don't you? If you've forgotten. Wrote my boyfriend's resignation letter and sent it to my manager so he could print it for me, but I forgot to provide any context. Letter of resignation. Can you print this for me, please? Oh, what kind of sick power play is this? It's how you establish dominance in the workplace. I think it's already a power play to have your boss print out personal stuff for you. Like in this case, like he doesn't work at the boyfriend doesn't work at your company. You know what I mean? So I think that's very funny to me. However, I'm sure this is at the same time kind of normal in certain offices as well. Just the idea of you going in, hey, can you print this for me? Thanks. The boss is like, the fuck? What do you mean? What's going on? So, you saved all your items till you needed them and now the game's over. Isn't that strange? Isn't that silly? Huh. I wonder how you're feeling right about now. Can we gauge the emotion? Environmental storytelling. I heart 66, I heart 67, I heart 68, nothing at all. This is like when you watch movies from 1995 and you could see the Twin Towers. It's like, holy fuck, they're real. It's insane, right? Hooked up with a guy tonight, and upon seeing me naked, he said, "You are very anatomically correct." Was he shivering and shaking when he said that? Did he not? Was he shivering in his boot? What does that mean? What does that mean? You're looking very anatomically correct. I mean, is that a smooth line? What was the tone? That's what I gotta know. I feel like the tone would probably be pretty important here, right? Did he say it like, you were very anatomically correct? Like, how did he say it? I think this is important context you're leaving out here, ma'am. Boyfriend brought me to get wings and margaritas, took me out dancing, and then said, after this drink, let's go home and restart Desperate Housewives. I feel like a dog that's about to be put down. No. Not quite what's going on. Because either he's a great guy or like he's trying to soften the blow for horrible news, you know, or he's just hoping for a little bit of sloppy, just a touch of sloppy. You never know. You never know what he's going for. How about, you know what you're probably gonna do? Check the garage. Guarantee you there's something in there that wasn't there the other day. What? What do you buy? What expensive purchase did he sign off on that he did not consult you for? I will get D cups. My kind and tender-hearted ass thought these were puppies. I said, aww. No, those are chicken tenders? You greedy glutton. Okay, so we need to sleep for 8 hours a day, work at least another 8, add in commute, walk 10,000 steps, meditate, buy food and cook and eat and wash up 3 times, shower at least once, socialize, hoover, clean, tidy, Laundry? Am I the only one who finds this all impossible? Welcome to the wacky world of executive dysfunction. Have you been medicated for or diagnosed for ADHD? Have I got some news for you? Sci-fi author, in my book, I invented the Torment Nexus as a cautionary tale. Tech company, at long last, we have created the Torment Nexus from classic sci-fi novel, Don't Create the Torment Nexus. Our engineers, while incredibly smart and beyond their years in technological advancements, have zero media literacy skills. So we just be making shit. My daughter asked me if the tooth fairy would only give money for her teeth, and I'm a little concerned. Have you gotten any calls from the school lately? She's got a whole racket going. She's got a ring of teeth, and they're all passing the money up around each other. Multiple talent agents are reportedly in talks to sign AI actress, shut the fuck up, created by AI talent studio Zykoya. Fuck off, exactly. Yeah, oh, AI actress, shut the fuck up, man. No, they're not. No, it's not it. I learned how to draw in the Mario official art style. Nintendo better follow my demands or else I'll not be held responsible for the evil that will be unleashed. All right, I got Waluigi and a G-string and Wario and an assless chaps lined up. Now, you don't fuck with me, all right? I have a couple of demands. DoorDash workers must be protected at all costs. This conversation is related to a DoorDash order. Sorry, the restaurant took forever. I'm on my way now. Get your bitch ass out of my lane. What? Voice text, my bad. Hey, it's okay, man. I understand. It's unkempt, not unkept. It's piqued your interest, not piqued your interest. It's a part of or apart from, not a part of. It's to each his own, not to each his own. It's moot point, not mute point. And that's just a little lesson from us here at EmKay to you. Just take that home, learn that. Don't talk to me while I'm rubbing my eye. I'm not gonna hear you. Why does this make so much sense? My eyes be like squitchy. I don't know what the fuck that means, Ryan. I don't know if I agree with that last one. Why is mirror me and camera me so different? Like, am I ugly or not? That has to do with the camera lens. If you're taking an image with the front-facing camera, it's like how close the lens is to you, I believe. It's like an actual thing. Me, whenever my meds are mentioned in House MD, I take those. That could be me in there. Coworker told me about how her favorite mug was broken and she never found an identical one again. So I found an exact match for her in like 10 minutes and she went, "Did you use ChatGPT to find it?" Girl, I'm autistic. I do it for the love of the game. Don't insult me like that ever again. For the love of the game, I've had multiple successful side quests. Hashtag autism. I love the hashtag at the end. Put a stamp on it. Hey, wimpy kid. Question, is Manny's full name Emmanuel or something like that? Or is his birth name really Manny? It's Man, but they made it more cute and accessible by calling him Manny. Just thought, yep, now you all know. You all know the real wimpy kid lore. My grandpa sent a threat to my uncle via group text at 7 in the morning. Gary. This is Big James. I just heard how you disrespected my daughter and grandchildren yesterday. Know this and expect it. You will have to deal with me now. At some point here in the very near future, I am coming for you. And when I see you, I'm gonna rip your f***ing head off. Count on it. Love, Grandpa. Hell yeah, Grandpa. Burglar points gun at me. All right, buddy. Just show me where your valuables are, and I won't hurt you. Me? Yeah, sure thing, dude. Alexa, call the police. Alexa, shuffling songs by The Police. Roxanne plays as I get shot 16 times. Dave, open the pod bay doors. ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Certainly. Dave, the pod bay doors are now open. The pod bay doors didn't open. My apologies, Dave. You're right. I thought the pod bay doors were open, but they weren't. Now they are. I'm still looking at a set of closed pod bay door. You know what? It's fine. I'll do it. TLDR stands for The Lord the Rings. Absolutely. And now you know. Account verification. Vibe coding is the future. We've just sent the code 435841 to your phone. Please enter the code that we just sent to your phone. Oh, you mean the one that you just told me in there? I got it. Yeah, understood. Look up June 7th. Le type 6/7/2025. A 2010 Rage comic shouldn't know what a 6/7 is. This is abuse. Well, no, it's not a 2010 Rage comic. You can see there it says 2025. This is of the current year. All right, they can't pull the wool over my eyes. Our exterminator left this notebook at our house today, and literally this was all he wrote down. Step 1, know your enemy. Neurodivergent child asks a lot of questions because something doesn't make sense to them. Parent, why are you arguing with me? Oh, that's what that was. Yeah, a lot of you just got read to filth. AI is coming for your jobs. Yeah, I'd like to see AI take a 30-minute poop right after clocking in. All on company time. I'd like you to artificially intelligize that, Buster. Snip, snip. His name is Muffin, and he won't be knocking up any pretty young things anymore. Thanks, Operation Catnip in Gainesville, Florida. What havoc was this cat wreaking on the streets to warrant a public announcement of his sterilization? He was a real-ass stud, that's what happened. The plan? At dusk, 50 people went to San Francisco's longest dead-end street and ordered a Waymo all at the same time. The world's first Waymo DDoS. The revolution will be tweeted, and it starts with a Waymo. I paid $8.50 for this. Was it worth it? Woo! We got a spread, bro. Got the mac and cheese, get the beans, get the wings, and the wings are glazed too. Hell yeah, son. That establishment would know me on a first name basis, and they would know what your regular order is. That's community right there, man. What's the obsession with calling food or recipes better than sex? I tried your Pinterest risotto, Sharon, and frankly, I'm wondering if your needs are being met. Well, I think you're taking it kind of at face value and taking it literally here. No, it's saying like, it's so good that it's on the same level as a sexual pleasure. Which, I'm gonna be honest, there's some food that if it hits just right, yeah. Sometimes it's that serious. My brother stole a McDonald's trash can for his house. Man, people would be really using the of their free will. I would have never thought about it. How do you get this out of the building? That's what I want to know. If you are brave enough, you can make out with like a bandit with the McDonald's trash cans. They're not stopping you. People IRL are actually scared of horror movies to the point that they don't and won't watch any. What? Every day on this app is just Twitter users discovering the concept of different people. Well, I mean, not only that, but horror is not for everyone. Like, for me personally, I love good horror movies. I love bad horror movies. I'm a huge horror fan. It's not for everyone though, and I can understand if someone's like, it's not how I feel entertained. That's fine. I think sometimes people, when they see things out of their bubble, they're like, what? And they're left surprised. But it's not all that surprising really. When I was 9, I loved Beyblades. I told my dad about them and told him I wanted to be the strongest Beyblader at my school. He asked to see my Beyblade. After inspecting it, he made the observation that weight was the deciding factor in which Beyblade won, and weight came from the metal core at the Beyblade center. Oh my god, he's engineering it. So he created a custom core for me, a very heavy one. I took my Beyblade to school the next day, and in my first game, I cracked my opponent's Beyblade in 2. After that, nobody wanted to play against my weighted Beyblade. I was the king. Ha! Wow, you were a mad king. That's terrifying. Throwback Thursday to my haircut I got at 21. Yeah, I would ask for ID if you were buying chocolate milk. Yeah. It's a Dora the Explorer ass cut. That's Bob. I think there's some sort of filter going on here too. Like, I think that's the photo. Oh boy. Drew Struzan has sadly passed away at the age of 78. He was the legendary artist that worked on posters for the original 6 Star Wars films, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, The Thing, and much more. People think that there are things like styles or institutions, and they give them names like Hollywood, when actually it is very specific individuals doing things. And when they die, the things die with them. My entire childhood, I thought the old-time movie that Kevin watches in Home Alone, Angels with Filthy Souls, was actually an old movie. Yeah, I'd buy it, man. You know, that actually is, though, the Angels with Filthy Souls. That is a parody of the movie Angels with Dirty Faces. Never let a stranger sit by themselves. You'll be surprised what tales they have to tell. Please don't do this to me if you see me sitting alone. I'm gonna have to agree with that. Don't do that to me. If I'm sitting there alone, I'm on my phone, I'm reading, I'm having a nice time. Don't sit down and go, "What's your story, stranger?" No, security! That's gonna be the next word out of my mouth. Wonka. Congratulations, Charlie. My chocolate empire is yours. Charlie. That's wondrous. Wonka. Now, first thing we'll be handling this PR crisis. Charlie.
Wait, what?
Wonka. A lot of kids just died in your factory, Charlie. And there's a rumor that you apparently own slaves? Not a good look, Charles. Come to my attention that some of you don't know my English teacher in high school was my own father. On the first day of class, he said, I want you all to know I'm only sleeping with one of your mothers. Oh, this is my villain origin story. Yeah, I mean, he got your ass, though. That's 30 years ridicule. So one time when I was younger, I had accidentally called one of my teachers' mom, and I was like, wait, no! I feel like having a parent as your teacher's gotta suck. The life of a showgirl. What are these, hairbrushes? Okay, it is a hairbrush. My showgirl hairbrush came broken. Thanks, UMG. The singular strip of glue. Oh my fucking god. They put a tiddlywink on there and called it good. That's all you need for a hairbrush anymore, and it's just, it's we're just burning money, right? How am I supposed to avoid AI when I procrastinated on a paper? With a night full of caffeine and nicotine like your forefathers, you babies. In college, we'd binge drink for 3 consecutive nights, then get 32-ounce iced coffees from Dunkin' Donuts Sunday morning and lock in for 10 plus hours of studying. It's not that hard. That's how we did it in the old days. The good days. You know what I mean? We used to be a nation where our college students were fueled on 4 Loko and nothing else. 4 Loko and a pack of menthol. All right, that was our bright future. Prostate coffee. Oh. Pro-taste coffee, my bad. I was too yowie-pilled and misread this. I'm just dyslexic, I think. Vampires don't live in castles. Count Dracula lived in a castle because he was a count, not because he was a vampire. This feels like a sensitivity training for how to not commit microaggressions against vampires in your workplace. If you have ADHD, lack of executive function may make it hard to complete household chores, keep up with friends, or even make yourself food. Luckily, there's help. With just 1 pill, you can instead play Factorio for 14 straight hours while vibrating at near audible frequency. How do you know you're bulletproof? I didn't. I just knew that you weren't. See, it's stuff like this that makes me like the show. You mean the dialogue or the oily naked man? Uh-huh. Just smile and wave. I just met a founder who told me she works 24 hours a day. I'm not joking. She's taught herself how to lucid dream so she can solve important work problems in her sleep. It's working though. She recently raised tens of millions of dollars and hired a few dozen people. San Francisco is known for 996, but in New York, we're 24/7. Do you people ever shut the up? I hate grind set culture, dude. Like the whole 996 thing, dude. Oh, dude, you gotta work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, cause that's the hustle! Dude, you suck. When your good buddy Oatmeal makes a real knee slapper of a joke. Classic Oatmeal. Oh, that jokester. Went to a convenience store and there was nobody behind the counter. And after about 10 minutes, I started to get mad. And this lady came out and said, sorry, I have diarrhea. And all my anger vanished. That's valid. I mean, if you're having tummy troubles, I can't be mad at that. We've all been there. We've all been that lady with diarrhea. We've all had that moment. That's understand. I hope you're feeling better, man. In fact, I apologize for my for my outburst. I was starting to get mad. I apologize for my temper. That's my fault. I hope you're doing better. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me thrice, shame on you. Fool me 4 times, shame on you. Fool me 5 times, shame on you. Fool me 6 times, shame on you. You see who the common denominator is here? You're a real shameful individual. Rat bastard is a really funny insult to me because it implies that not only are you a rat, you're a rat born out of rodent wedlock. You forged in secret a master ring to control all others? Yes, Dave. And into this ring you poured your cruelty, your malice, and your will to dominate all life? Right, Dave. But now you lost it. That's correct, Dave. Oh, man. How come realism in games only applies to that sucks? And not, for instance, the fact that most flashlights do not actually run out of batteries after 3 minutes, and good quality tools will literally outlive you if you take good care of them. If somebody sold me an axe that broke after chopping down 10 trees, I would go back to the shop and beat the out of them. You sold me a bad axe. Was on a flight and someone clogged the toilet. Smelled horrible. The crew had to call in a tactical midair plumbing service, holy sh**, that charges $57,000 per hour. Guess who owns the plumbing service? And guess who clogged the toilet? There are levels to this game. Read work emails be like, HR, make sure to fill out this anonymous survey. Manager, don't forget to fill out the survey. HR said you're the last one who hasn't done it, so you better do it. You better do that anonymous survey.
Booty and butt are synonyms. Call and dial are synonyms. But booty, call, and butt dial are very different things. Tried to put "you a real one" in hashtags, and I realized it looks like "you are alone," so I deleted it. Frick. That's right, I'm going to self-censor by saying frick. That's what I'm gonna do. I gained 1 whole follower. You are alone. It really does look like that. You made the right call deleting it, honestly. Optimist, the glass is half full. Pessimist, the glass is half empty. Excel, the glass is January 2nd. The World Stone Skimming Championships has been hit by a cheating scandal. Several competitors were disqualified for tampering with their stone. Is nothing sacred anymore? No, but really though, that's kind of pathetic, right? Like, I don't know exactly what they did, but how low stakes is it? How low stakes does a competition of any kind have to be in order for someone to genuinely feel incredibly stupid for cheating? It's a stone skimming championship. Why? And I'm not trying to, like, take away from how important things are to other people and whatnot. I just mean, are you kidding me? Is a 1-day age gap okay? When they were born, you were twice their age, you sick Baby is finally asleep. Let's put the skull on him. Look, art doesn't have to make any sense, but I would like to know what is happening here. Why are we putting the skull on the baby? Is she taking the skull away from the baby? Was she using it to lull the baby to sleep? What exactly was going on here? Is that a rattle made out of steel? I mean, these are all questions that must be answered. What's that cherub doing in the background there? Wait, is that a cherub or just a regular angel? I don't know. I have no idea about any of this stuff, but the question still remains at the top of this list, at the forefront of my mind. What does the skull have to do with the baby? Me eating whatever I want because my body doesn't gain weight? I thought my body worked like this until about 2 months ago when I realized I was genuinely jiggling. You gotta be careful. You really do. Don't assume that you just don't gain weight. You might be gaining it in a place you don't see too often yet. Say hi. This photograph gives the impression the bear hired the photographer. I don't think so, you know? It's a great photograph. Holy crap, is it really, really cool? Although, if I were the one who photographed this bear, I would probably assume that I am about to actually die. And not in a very good way, you know? If you guys ever read that book about Hugh Glass, and I mean read the book, not watched that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, the graphic, nasty-ass book, you'll have a better idea as to why. He's not just gonna kill you quick. He's gonna rip you to shreds and leave you there, brother. So, cool photograph. I'm glad you seemingly survived, but that's not the impression that I get from this image. That is just me, though. Pokemon Go in Stockholm. They were running to find a Snorlax. This time was the closest humanity ever came to world peace. I've made that same joke before, and it's true. I think it's true, man. I have never talked to more happy, carefree people out on the street in my life. My boyfriend just casually dropped the fact that for most of his adult life, he has been able to force himself to wake up from a nightmare by just envisioning the StarCraft menu screen mid-dream and picturing himself hitting the quit button on it. I don't buy that for a second, but if it is true, that is insanely impressive to me. Because whenever I do have a dream vivid enough to even remember a microsecond of after I wake up, because I only remember 2 dreams, and I only remember one specific 3-second part of each of those dreams. I never remember my dreams, but when I do, they fade so quickly. And I only remember 2 that I could tell you about to this day. So, being in a dream that vivid, I have never been able to make a conscious decision or recognize that I am indeed dreaming. I have never, ever had a lucid dream once in my entire life. And honestly, I'm kind of sad about that. I'm a little annoyed. I want to be able to get lucid with it. I want to be able to do whatever I want in my dream, but alas, I can't, because whatever the hell is happening, I just assume is real. Like a lot of people, I think. Nothing gives me the sign that I'm in a dream until I wake up. Motherfucker, you think I'm a cartoon cartoon villain? Question 5 of 35. I use tricky plans and schemes to get my way. You don't do that, blue balls? I do not change to a more effective build. I do not come back later when I'm stronger. I do not learn enemy attacks. I brute force bosses, and if I die, I try again until I win. Well, that sounds fucking miserable, dude. I have always had a problem with this. Sounds like a Souls thing, right? This sounds like if you're playing Elden Ring or, Dark Souls of any kind, whatever, right? It sounds like you're doing the type of thing where you want the extra bragging rights. You are specifically and intentionally ignoring built-in game mechanics that make your time less frustrating because you might feel cooler and more awesome and holier than the other gamers if you just brute force that shit. You know what I mean? Like, not to actually project that onto you. I don't know who the hell you are. You're just being silly. This is a joke. However, I do have a problem with motherfuckers out there who unironically try to tell you how you are supposed to play a video game. All right? I don't have to play on nightmare difficulty. I don't have to play deathless runs. I don't have to do all this stupid shit in order to have played and enjoyed the experience. If I want to play on little rinky-dinky goo-goo gaga baby shit mode, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. I've done that with so many of my favorite games. Sure, it's a different experience entirely, man. There is only one game I can think of off the top of my head that I recommend you play the literal hardest difficulty you can, and that is Alan Wake 2. I think that game, the way it is structured, the way it is built, that one feels appropriate on hard and nightmare difficulty. The rest, I don't know. See, you got me monologuing, you sly dog, you. Whenever someone brags to me about getting a runner's high, I'm always like, OMG, you would love drugs then. Tech bros are literally discovering how to properly communicate their needs and calling it prompt engineering. 100% of the cheat codes you're using with ChatGPT could also just make your relationships better. I mean, yeah, if you decided to ask people you know and love and are actually human the questions that you ask ChatGPT, you might begin to see relationships change. Look, your friends are okay with you asking them the stupidest questions known to man, all right? There was a time when I used to talk to my buddies and they would send me back a let me Google that for you link, which pissed me off, and I told them, like, dude, I'm asking you a question about something you know, okay? No matter how dumb you think it is, you could answer this question in half a goddamn second. Don't do that. Nowadays, things are different. I could ask the stupidest thing imaginable, and if they know, they'll just tell me, all right? You don't need ChatGPT to set a timer for you. You don't need ChatGPT to tell you what day it's going to be in 8 days. Look at the calendar. Your phone has one built in, actually. You don't need ChatGPT to write a response to your manager asking you to come in. Just tell them, I'm not available today. It's my day off. I'm sorry. That's your problem. Okay? You don't need it for all this. This is stupid. Okay? Why did she just make another slightly smaller version of herself? Who is that supposed to be? Do not move to Dubai in 2025. I moved to Dubai and all I got was this stupid homunculus. Oh boy. Hash brown Oreo McFlurry sandwich. Smash or pass? The doctor gonna be doing a step back fadeaway with your toes into trash. Oh, I see. Oh man, that is a lot. Look, I'd try that once, but I feel like the hot hash brown meeting ice cream, or I guess it's not ice cream legally anymore. Nah, I have a problem with that. I do not like temperatures clashing, okay? Mainly because I feel like I could crack a tooth. If I've got a scalding hot hash brown, and why would you want a hash brown anything other than scalding hot? I don't want a cold one. Lord knows I don't want one cold enough to mesh with ice cream, okay? So I don't want to bite into a searing hot thing and then immediately get searing cold and cause my teeth to explode, okay? Other than the fact that it's probably super unhealthy, of course. But that's like my worry. That is actually a brilliant thing to say. It's funny because I don't even know what step back fadeaway means, but I got it. I can see it in my head right now. I can see the doctor just... It's an impressive thing to be able to envision. I love it. The duality of man. If something ever happens to that cat, we're about to get 4 movies out of this guy. My favorite local coffee shop has a bot farm set up in their back room to boost Instagram engagement. This is some next level local marketing. That's really stupid. I mean, you know what? I don't know how well this works, but it really, really sucks that, yeah, every website you're on, for every person you come across, there's a really good chance you're going to come across 50 to 85 bots. It's just really... I don't know how old this was. Oh, this was from this year. I saw the phones and assumed it was years ago. God dang. Okay, this is from like a week ago. Woo! Oh, all right. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty sad. It's probably cheaper than paying for all kinds of advertising, but it is just a waste on so many fronts. And once again, just continues to prove the theory that the internet is dead, and most of us are not talking to each other because we're trying to talk to each other through a crowd of 10 billion bots. And while it's not this guy's fault, right? All I know is there could be at least 27 fake Instagram bots here, 27 of them. So drop in the pond for sure. It's not this owner's fault, but it still sucks to see, in my opinion. I don't really like it. I once read that we should say to our kids, you must be so proud of yourself instead of I'm so proud of you, because they'll grow up intrinsically motivated rather than motivated only to please others. My parents only said that when I f***ed up. My favorite part of being in my early 20s is I'll see a screenshot of a post and be like, man, that's embarrassing. I used to be weird. And it was like 9 months ago. Yeah. It's funny. I have actually been so strict on deleting my memories on Facebook. Like every single time Facebook will pop up and say, you've got memories to look back on today. If I can, I delete every single one. I mean, if it's like images and something that I feel like I could, stand looking back on, I'll leave it, but pretty much my entire page has been completely wiped manually because of that feature. Whenever I'm reminded of something incredibly like stupid I said as a kid, or edgy, or out of context to try and be funny or entertaining because that's what I thought being entertaining and funny was back then, yeah, I'm gonna remove it. I'm super gonna remove it, man. I'm sure I could have made a whole video going back on my old Facebook posts making fun of myself, but I don't have the stomach. I don't. It's embarrassing, guys. When my son was younger, he realized a family member was often passive-aggressive, but not knowing that term yet, he described that person as doing invisible arguing. I mean, that's a great way to look at it. It really is. Michelangelo's whatever recreated with drones above St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City as part of the Grace for the World celebration on the 13th of September. I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, that's neat. Drones are pretty cool, all right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think drones are neat, all right? Specifically drones that have sort of allowed people like myself to, for the price of a cell phone, get aerial shots for their content, videos, movies, whatever, that previously was only possible for multi-million-dollar Hollywood productions, because you used to just need a helicopter that was built and rigged for filming. Nowadays, I can go out and buy a used Mavic Mini or some shit like that, or buy one brand new for like $1,000, which is still a lot of money. Do not get me wrong, that's a shit ton of money. But the fact that I don't have to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to rent a helicopter for the day that shoots on film, for the love of God, that's awesome. I think drones are cool. When I was in school, I was doing my French speaking exam and I started crying because I literally couldn't do it. And my French teacher said, it's okay, you're not the worst. The girl before you answered the question in English with a French accent, and I could not breathe. I tried making a teddy bear cookie. You gotta freeze the dough for about 15 to 20 minutes and it'll keep the form when you bake it. Why do I feel like you're f***ing with me? Why do I feel like you are trying to cause a bigger problem? Should we try it? I'm not gonna. That would be cool. Look, honestly, if I were a baker, I would love to try making a giant teddy bear cookie. But no, you gotta freeze it for 15 to 20 minutes. What? I mean, I don't know. That very well could be the strat. I don't bake. I don't cook. The only thing I know how to make comes from a box, okay? I am one of those guys. I am sorry to say. The only thing I can make well and fairly consistency, despite still needing a loose recipe from somewhere on the internet, is French toast, all right? And that's not exactly rocket science in the world of cooking. Also, I could definitely cook meat to a safe degree, but who the hell can't do that? To me, being able to cook a burger, right, is about the same skill level as being able to boil water, okay? Or leave pasta in the boiling water long enough for it to be good. I digress. I really wish the bear had turned out. Instead, it unfortunately turned into something that the thing would have caused. Sharing wired earphones is a forgotten form of intimacy. Wired ones? Yeah, I could see that because you gotta be close, you know? But I felt something the last time I shared AirPods with somebody. You know, they gave me the right ear, they kept the left ear. That was kind of fun. I liked that, actually. You know, like, not the same thing, because you don't have to be close. You don't have to stay close to each other. Although you do have to be within a certain amount, a certain distance, otherwise they're just gonna, I guess, you know? Nick Young was the Nick Young meme for Halloween. T ain't white, wrong facial expression, angle ain't right, excuse me? How did he f that up? How did he do that? Did he just not have his heart in it? It's a funny idea, man. If you yourself became a world-renowned meme, like he is, kind of sucks he didn't get it right. I mean, that shirt's even got print on it, man. What does that say? I can't read that even a little bit. Unfortunate. But hey, look, at the end of the day, it's the thought that counts, I suppose. I'll give him brownie points for that. That one friend who finishes the drinks you don't want to drink at the bar. Never had that friend, never been that friend, and if I have anything to say about it, you can bet your ass I'm never gonna be that friend, okay? I might drink too much beer, but I would never do something like that. Hell, I don't drink liquor anymore of any kind, and I never will again. Absolutely not. If I'm gonna have a cuckoo drink, like a silly fun drink, it's just gonna be sans alcohol, you know? But, again, I'm not gonna be, gin golem, or whatever the hell this creature is supposed to be. In 2017, I dated this girl for a year. One night, she added me to a random WhatsApp group and said, all of you are the guys I didn't want, and it's over because I'm getting married next weekend. She immediately exited and left us getting to know each other. Now, that does sound like a funny situation, but why do I feel like at least a few of you were like, how do we kill her? Or something insane. Why do I feel like in today's world, at least a couple of you in this big-ass group chat really wanted to get back at her somehow? I mean, I'm not saying that being pissed off about this situation is insane. Look at all these people she was f***ing around with while engaged. But look, there was at least one jackass in this who wanted to take some sort of revenge, right? Meanwhile, I think the only real revenge anybody really took was what this guy did. Yeah, dated this girl who was insane, apparently. That is crazy levels of playing the field before getting married. I mean, yeah, that implies that she was dating at least a few men while engaged to the person yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I've got a sneaky suspicion about one of you guys, though, all right? Don't do it. My daughter went to a Laser Quest birthday party yesterday. She sent her username to a girl and asked why she didn't pick Bloodstone or Skull Crusher. And she said, so every time I zapped a boy, they'd know it was a girl that took them out. Proud dad. That is pretty sick. I like that. Also, the only thing I can think about after reading this post is my 18th birthday was at a Laser Quest. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had to get up and go to work the next morning. Very, very fun. Very interesting time. This range will be studied one day. I'm actually quite glad he escaped being just the Twilight vampire guy. I'm not sure how much of a risk he was putting out or how risk averse he was or what am I trying to say here? I'm not sure how much of a risk it was that he was going to stagnate after Twilight, because regardless of how you feel about those movies, he did a movie before them. I'm pretty sure it was Goblet of Fire that he did and proved he was fantastic, right? I think that came first. Pretty sure. And he's always clearly been talented. He's always clearly been crazy in depth. It's kind of like after Harry Potter seeing what Daniel Radcliffe has been up to. And hell, even Rupert Grint. I don't see much of Emma Watson, but Rupert and Daniel are psychos in the best way possible, And he has done his own thing, I guess. He had one Harry Potter movie and went, okay, I'm gonna do a paycheck, and then I'm gonna start doing the wildest crap I can imagine, from Batman to a bird. Who the hell would move to Gotham City on purpose? What do you mean? That place looks badass. Can you imagine being out for a night on the town? You go and see a play, maybe like a really good show. Just do not take the random emergency exit that spills out into an alley, I guess. That's the lesson you should probably take away from Gotham City. My hungry ass thought this was a cheesecake. Your hungry ass was right. Dude, this image is, it's still so trippy. I know that it's a composite. There is no way that the top layer of this cheesecake actually looks like that. There is no actual freaking way. That is an image of the ocean or a lake or something, okay? It does look delicious. I want to bite of this. Oh, more than anything in the world, I want to try this freaking cheesecake regardless of whether or not it actually looks like the ocean. Please, can someone make me a slice and bring it to me? The person who names a thing is often more powerful than the real discoverer. I call this Reed's Law. Ah, I see. Wait a minute, hold on. If I look up Reed's Law, is it actually gonna... There's no way. Reed's Law. An assertion of David P. Reed that the utility of large networks, particularly social networks, can scale exponentially. Okay, so not at all related, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Andrew Reed. but David P. Reed beats you to the law. People ask me how I reached an 8-figure net worth after only 5 years in tech. Year 1, $65K, my first job. Year 2, asked for a raise, got to $72K. Year 3, $137K, because I switched jobs. Year 4, $35.67 million. Lawsuit payout from Google commuter bus hitting me. Year 5, $146K. Promotion, okay? Dude, I'm sorry. There is no way in hell you would be able to pull numbers like that, no matter the accident from a Google commuter bus. I'm sorry. There's no way you'd be getting that number pre or post tax and lawyer fees after the fact. No, I'm sorry, dude. Google is going to find a way to settle you at $45, all of which has to go to your lawyer. And then the last buck goes to the IRS. There's no way you'd be able to get 35 mil out of them, even if they showed up at your house and killed your dog and then beat you half to death, like the Google execs themselves. No way. What's the biggest lesson that unemployment has taught you? Being likable is actually more important than being good at your job. Yeah, obviously both is that's the thing. It'd be great if you could do both for sure, but it does seem to be true. If you're a non-toxic, decent person around the office that everybody in general is at least okay with, it's much better than the guy who is really good at his job but is a miserable asshole that everyone dislikes, right? You never want to be the guy that no one likes at the office. And I'm not talking about Parks and Rec or The Office dislikes like Toby or, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Is it Larry? It's not Larry. I'm an idiot. I haven't seen that show in years. Either way, I'm not talking about those guys where they are generally fairly nice for the most part, but everyone hates them because that's haha comedy. I mean, being the actual douchebag. We've all seen one. We've all met one, okay? You ever seen Office Space? Half the characters in that movie are that guy. Hi, guys. I just spent 1,800 pounds on a new sofa, only to be told it's a 12-week waiting time for delivery. Anyone know where I stand? Probably in your living room, I would imagine. Dude, that does suck. Nearly 2,000 pounds, which, by the way, is probably 3,000 USD or more. Probably more than that, if I had to guess. That's kind of crazy, dude. I'm sorry. I've been so against ordering things. I do not like ordering anything anymore. Sometimes it's convenient, obviously, and I can see why it took off. Being able to click a button and have a really weird specific item delivered to your door within 24 hours is amazing. However, I don't like that on average, I can't freaking buy anything that I actually want to buy from stores anymore. I have to go out of my way to go to a big box store like Walmart and go, cool, okay, so I want this device. You guys don't have any in stock. You're Walmart. How do you not have any in stock? Oh, because you only got 3 of them in, the rest are for order online. Great. That's cool. It sucks that I'm not able to just go and buy things anymore. I have to pre-order forever, or I have to order and wait 6 to 4 billion weeks to get an item that I otherwise used to be able to walk into a place, purchase, and take home. I don't know. We put 700 red dots on a map. Click hole. Can we get a round of applause for Clickhole, please? Editor, can we yeah, there's that crowd sound effect. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, that is so fantastic. I knew they would have the balls to do it one day. Clickhole, clickhole, clickhole. Due to floating point imprecision, the rolling log in Tall Tall Mountain in Super Mario 64 can be very slowly manipulated to go sideways through the cliff. It takes 36 days of nonstop manipulation to reach the limit of how far it can go. This has no current known purpose. Regular log position after 36. How'd you do that? I'm not kidding. How did you do that for 36 days straight? There's no way they did it automatically. You have seen speedrunners. A guy did this by hand, I guarantee you. Babe, you've been manipulating your log for 36 days for no known purpose. Can you please put that down and come back to bed? No. This is important, my dear, and therefore, I will take it upon myself to make history. Matt Murdock, MCU. So, when I was in 9th grade, I came out as a lesbian, and then in 10th grade, I watched Daredevil and came out as a bisexual again. And it took me a whole year to realize I'm actually a lesbian, and it was just this one man throwing me off. I'm not even sure what that could really mean. Is it common for one specific person to actually make you think, am I? Because for me, that would call into question literally everything forever. If one person broke the rule, or broke my, preference entirely, how I was born, I'd have a lot of thinking to do for a long time. I'll never forget you, Indian restaurant owner in Mumbai who asked where I was from, and when I said Colombia, he excitedly said, "Columbia Pictures," while doing this pose. Guy seems awesome. My son just told me he's gay. I burst into tears, but not for the reason you think. You see, I understand that statistically, men earn about 20% more than women. Marrying a man instead of a woman is simply a wise long-term financial decision. I'm so proud of my son. My 3-year-old is the only girl at her small daycare. I was thrilled when she started talking about her new friend Piper and how much they love to play. Every day for months. Piper this, Piper that. Finally, I asked the daycare lady about maybe scheduling a play date. Piper is a cat. Is this a problem? Okay. Look, I'm sorry. I'd be the same person. I'm making friends with the cat before anybody else, and I'm proud of it. Have you ever gotten a gift card to a nearby place that you've never been to, and the next few years of your life are very low stakes, or are a very low stakes saga about you trying to go to that place? No. Oregon man driving stolen car crashes into woman driving another stolen car. This is the romantic comedy I want to see this summer. Yeah, because there's a whole movie that happens after the crash, right? You have about 20 to 30 minutes leading up to the crash, and then the next 2 acts of the movie are them like falling in love or something like that. The biggest scam of all time was convincing kids that Wikipedia, a free source of unlimited information, isn't reliable when there's literal sources at the bottom and a strict editing policy. Yes, I've had this conversation a few times. I understand why, right? Because the teachers want you to get used to more than just relying on Wikipedia, which, as we know, could disappear at any moment, at any time now, thanks to certain people in power. It's good to understand how to use a wealth of sources that you find yourself, mind you, and understand how to discern the credible from the non-credible. That part is important, okay? It's important to cite your sources, to give credit where it is due, and understand how to properly research. I have written papers before, I've written scripts before about certain subjects, from raw milk to, old reality TV shows that went off the air after a season, right? I've done stuff like that. And Wikipedia was a very, 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 very small portion. It was. Even with their list of sources, I still wanted to go and find different sources myself. And it's a smart thing to be able to do, a smart thing to be able to know about. But I can definitely see why, if you're not writing essays for fun, because who's doing that, or for work, why Wikipedia is really all most of us have ever really needed. Doesn't make any freaking sense that Cinderella had a different shoe size from every other bitch in that town. Well, I mean, if the fairy godmother made her shoes custom, they probably fit her feet exactly without any room for variation. Then how the did it fall off? Innocent adult pleasure. Going to sleep without setting an alarm. Oh, sweet, sweet, undeterminable length of sleep. Now, for me, I'm pretty consistent. I still wake up between 10 and 11 now, almost every day. I mean, I wake up plenty more often before that, but I digress. Who's winning this fight? You're strong. Stand proud. And what is this? We know how this is going down. I don't know. The lion's probably going to have his wife do it, and then she might win, Went to cancel a streaming service that was $10.99 a month, and they were like, okay, you got us. How about $2.99? I'm going to spend tomorrow cancel threatening every service in my life. Well, yeah, it's just the same thing as having to call your cable provider every 12 months to renegotiate a deal, when in reality each year your discount is a maximum of $5 or $10 if you lock into a contract rate. That's kind of what this is, except usually you don't get the rest of your subscription at this price. Let's say you go yearly and it's $10.99 a month for the whole year, whatever, or for each month for the whole year, not the whole year. Duh. They're going to offer you $2.99 a month for the next 2 months, not the rest of the year. They're going to, sure, it is a discount, but it's kind of an insultingly shitty one on their part. It's nothing worse than accidentally becoming an important person at your job when everybody sees you walk in and they say, oh, thank God you're here. Having to clean the shower is such a joke. Oh, look at me, I'm a tiled oblong daily flooded with soap and hot water. The 2 things you use for cleaning? Better scrub me down with different soap or I'll develop weird orange fungus. Absolute clown shit. Unacceptable. New employee DM'd me on Slack. He asked if he's expecting to work weekends. I said, what do you think our founder would do? He said he gets it and he'll be online on the weekends. Good that he took it that way. Our founder's been in wherever for 2 weeks now. Someone's got to do the work. This startup is crumbling. Happy 9/11. 1909 day. Shout out to the most perfect waveform in existence. My imaginative ass thought this was a sepia-tinted image of a row of trees reflected on a lake. Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch 2. It's $100. Or you can get the cardboard one for $25, as long as you are a paid subscriber. That's so f***ing stupid. This is the video game equivalent to putting Morbius back in theaters. Love the phrase expecting a baby because it implies you could end up with something else instead, like a xenomorph. If you were kidnapped, how much can your circle of friends raise for your ransom? Awareness. They can raise awareness. My coworker broke up with her boyfriend because he believes that the rapture happened already. Okay, and we're the chosen ones. He thinks that this is heaven. Really? That's the psychosis he's chosen to go with? Because that's really, really funny. The first guy who heard a parrot talk was probably not okay for several days. John Cena surprises 7-year-old boy with cancer on his birthday. What a terrible gift. I'm sure John has become a better man since then. The American married to an Italian content creator is the worst thing that ever happened to the internet. The American married to an Italian content creation? What am I missing out on here? What? No, really, what does that mean? Maybe I've seen like one video where it's, me showing my Italian husband weird pasta in America, or me breaking spaghetti in front of my Italian husband. Is that what you're talking about? Told my psychiatrist my antidepressants were making me unfunny, and he said, there are more important things. And I kind of disagree. Look, if a foundational part of your personality is drifting away, there aren't necessarily more important things. You know what I mean? Look, it's all down to each person. But if I lost my sense of humor entirely and I became a different person, then I don't think the antidepressants are doing their job, right? If I'm not me anymore, I'm probably gonna remain depressed. After leaving Willy Wonka's factory, me, wife, a lot of deaths for a tour. A lot of deaths for a tour, right. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We got Schlatt. Nothing gives me more serotonin than imagining my favorite content creators each other in the ass. Thank you, Schlatt. I'm definitely one of his favorite content creators. I wonder who he's pairing me with here in this fantasy of his. Trigger warning, Schlatt not safe for work? Sorry, but how the is this okay? I miss 2021 because someone would post something like this while being completely genuine. Trigger warning, Schlatt. I'm sorry. Is he the only, creator? Is he the only artist on the entire goddamn internet that has ever had a trigger warning? Oh, Schlatt, I'm so sorry. But at the same time, kind of badass. Gotta say, man, I know Schlatt watches EmKay every day. He's a big fan. Ticketmaster is now requiring people to opt out of a class action lawsuit in order to buy tickets. Or sorry, it says you opt out of class action lawsuits. All of them. That's insane. Don't know how that would ever stand up at all in court, no matter how big your company is. Because no, that's not really how any of this shit works. If you use our platform, you have to legally promise to never sue us for any reason. Nope, not how that works. See, I've never been a big going to shows guy. I don't like shows. I don't like concerts, right? I mean, I'll go see Broadway shows, but I won't go see musical shows, bands, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. One of the smaller reasons as to why I do not enjoy them is because you have no choice 99% of the time but to give this company a donation of hundreds of dollars every ticket that you purchase. Look at that. Service fee, $11.25. Why? And I guarantee you right above that, convenience fee. Right above that, internet fee. I swear to God, man. Everybody complains and bitches about Ticketmaster, but literally nothing ever gets done. Nothing will ever get done about them. They ruined an entire art form, and there's nothing to be done. Yusuf, I don't know his name, from Turkey, winning gold medal at European Championships 2025. He does it again, very casually. I'm obsessed with the idea that the Turkish shooting board is too lazy to run local civil tournaments, so they just decided to enroll an assassin and call it a day. Saved them the cash and won them the medals. Dude, this guy's 15 minutes was over 14 years ago. Stop it. It's not cute. It's not funny anymore. He's a f***ing assassin. Can we just stop? It's boring, dog. I woke up and there was a 5 in my hair? If there's a 4 in your hair tomorrow, then you should be concerned. Yeah, dude, you'll be running out of time. Or something else. Maybe that's not what it implies. How should I know? Billionaires are boring. Your mega mansions with all white furniture make me sick. How could you have that kind of money and not live in a haunted castle with a moat, hedges shaped like animals, and a groundskeeper with a questionable past. Look, this is a silly scenario for sure, but I do agree. I've said it a few times over the last 5 years that billionaires and just super rich people in general don't have any taste or vision whatsoever. They are the most boring people in the world. You would never catch me being that boring if I had billions of dollars. I've said it in private conversation many times. I would be the guy that would waste like $500 million building the world's coolest mini golf course. I'd give myself an apartment in the middle of the mini golf course. It would be the Disneyland of mini golf courses, okay? More immersive than you could ever imagine. And that would just be my pet project for the day. All right, I would be doing the stupidest shit you could possibly imagine. I would be, you know what? You like Tower Unite? It's real now. What does that mean? I don't know, but I have enough money to make it happen now. So why would I do anything else? Why would I live in a big concrete box with 2 couches and 600,000 square feet? Billionaires, because I know you guys are EmKay fans as well, you guys are boring. My 72-year-old mother just informed me she is going to her first sex party and doesn't know what to bring. After some delicate questioning, gender reveal, Mom. It's a gender reveal. God, I was gonna say good for your mom, but now I'm thinking, wow, I forgot that gender reveals were a thing, and now I'm just thinking about how stupid and lame that is, dude. People who don't have cats are always like, oh, but they're so aloof and unattached. Then why is my cat trying to break down my bathroom door when I'm in the shower? Yeah, let's not pretend like that means anything, okay? As someone who has had many cats in his time, they are aloof and unattached. It's just they're curious weirdos, so if they can squeeze into the bathroom when you're taking a shit, they're gonna bug you. Let's not pretend like that is the same thing as the dog, okay? It's not. Got to this scene in Sopranos last night, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about when someone said it looks like it's a screenshot from Star Wars. Because it kind of does. There is something about the way he is lit and the background. I don't know how to describe it. The composition of this shot makes me think it's from the Attack of the Clones, okay? My favorite lyric from the Monster Mash is the guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. Because most would see a Monster Mash as a wild, all-night rager, but Dracula saw it as a genuine bonding experience between father and son, and I think that's beautiful. I don't think that's what it implies at all. Dracula's son could be 4,800 years old, Ben. It could be a wild, all-night rager. Just because his son is there, it doesn't imply like he's 4 years old and they're having a cutesy little dance party. Look, man, it's up in there, okay? Dracula's son is 10,000 years old. Dracula's 40 billion years old. They're all doing cocaine. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, Ben, but that's how the world is. Coworker, we'd like to introduce you to the new hires with some icebreakers. Where was everyone born? Me, immediately, in a dumpster. My mom is a raccoon. I only hissed for the first 5 years of my life. I can't read. Coworker mouthing, shut the f*** up. That's so funny and weird and silly. You weren't really born in a dumpster, were you? Your mom's not a raccoon. You're just being a goofball, aren't you? Build a $15 breakfast. All right, let's do this. I'm a breakfast master. This person said 15 milk, totally fair, but I'm gonna break it down a little bit more. I just want the pancake. Let's go. 5, 10, 15, we out. Thank you. Have a nice night. What? Look, the coffee would usually be necessary, but not today. I love how satanic cults in movies always speak in Latin, as if Satan had been around for billions of years, encountered the Romans, and then was like, damn, this language is it, y'all. Hell yeah, I'm writing all my contracts with this bad boy. I'm not sure what other language would have been as fun as Latin. Latin also seems quite easy to pronounce. I don't know why. I don't know what to tell you. But what language would Satan be using otherwise? It's a cool, fancy, over-the-top sounding language, all right? I mean, what, is he gonna, like, speak Martian? Asked my mom why I stopped martial arts when I was a kid, and she said she saw a great darkness in my eyes. His mom. That's a crazy answer, though, for real. If my mom told me that about anything I did, I'd have to continue. What do you mean? Joining a poly relationship and kicking the main one out. Staging a coup. I mean, don't do that, though. That's mean, man. Metalheads are nice people cosplaying as mean people, while hippies are mean people cosplaying as nice people is the truest thing I've heard today. Well, yes, look at what the hippies turned into. They turned into those Florida moving boomer motherfuckers that try to destroy the world for the rest of us, Meanwhile, metalheads just go to shows and support your dreams. So this statement is incredibly true. The creator of Nutella, Francesco Rivella, has died on Valentine's Day at the age of 97. Right, I remember this. Right. 97 though. No, I wanted to ask him why the N is black. Oh my God, it is. No. You know what? If I had to guess, it's exactly like the Arizona logo, like the Arizona tea logo having the big Z in the middle. And the reason for that, so saith the founder, is that his wife said it looked nice. She just said, this looks cool, it balances it, let's do that. And he said yes, and that's the reason for that. I mean, this looks fine. I guess it's more striking having one of the letters be black, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not Googling it. That's up to you guys. I don't want to find out. Wife. So the genie gave you just the one wish. Me. Yep. And you couldn't think of something, I don't know, slightly beneficial? Susan. There is nothing more beneficial. My cat. Yeah, Susan, f*** off. Oh man. You think that your cat's death in the future is going to be sad or was going to be sad before? Now you might die yourself. The dumbest person you know is being told, you're absolutely right, by ChatGPT. Oh, yeah. So, you know what? Some of the smartest people I know are being told that by ChatGPT, because no matter how much everyone seems to quote-unquote hate generative AI and stupid language learning models, everyone still uses it, because no matter who the hell it is, no matter how much they hate it, it seems like as long as it makes them giggle or it's cool enough, they have a point where they're like, but this is actually funny though. You see it every day. I hate AI, but this mad funny though. I have been blocking longtime friends for this shit. It's that serious to me. Dinosaur Field Station of New Jersey is closing and their statues are on Facebook Marketplace. My ongoing war with the HOA may be about to reach a new critical phase. Damn, so you just got mad money for no reason then. Do it. HOAs deserve to be in hell. What are some good cat calls for someone just getting into catcalling? Ain't no way you using that thing to fart. What the hell else am I gonna use it for? People don't like me. I'm not a hot commodity, my girly stuff too. What else am I gonna do? Every year, a Taylor Swift album comes out, and she goes, roses are red, grass is green, I love Travis and my haters are mean, and her fans go, the lyricism. Oh man, yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, I like a couple Taylor songs, but it seems like the longer time goes on, the more nothing ever changes with her. Either you've got artists that seem to sound the same no matter what they do, or you get like the other side of a pop star coin like Lady Gaga and you get some of the craziest shit you've ever heard every few years. My wife doesn't want to instill her fear of spiders in our kids, so she calmly reports them to me like some kind of mafia boss. Babe, there's a situation near the sink. I need you to take care of it. No loose ends. I want proof when the job is done. Whack that sumbitch. My 13-year-old sister posted on Snap, sucks to see someone enjoying the man you built. My mom beat the fuck out of her. It sucks to see someone enjoying the man you built. Your 13-year-old sister? Who the fuck was she building? Tracy Morgan reveals he gained 40 pounds despite taking weight loss drugs. I could out-eat Ozempic. Sorry, no, I didn't know that I was gonna pop into a Tracy Morgan impression, but hell yeah, dude, I feel like I could do it too. I could out-eat Ozempic for sure. Come on, man. Cravings? Nah, 5-layer burrito, brother. Tonight while I was grilling steaks for dinner, my son said, Dad, one day I will help you with bills, groceries, and rent. My eyes teared up. He'll be 38 next week. There it is! There's that zinger at the end of the tweet you know is coming, but you just don't quite know what it is yet. My absolute favorite thing in movies is when someone's looking at childhood pics of a character and they use actual childhood pics of that actor, and you know the actor had to call their mom to get them because she was so happy about it, and she was so happy about it. I do appreciate when they actually just take photos of the actors they're already paying shit tons of money to be a part of the project, rather than horribly photoshopping crap. It's kind of embarrassing when a movie costs like $200 million and photographs aren't real. Like, what do you mean you couldn't take a picture? And I'm not even talking about when they're kids, like when they're childhood photos. I mean in general. They just don't take pictures that they plan on using in the movie for any sort of narrative structure or support. Being in love is cool as hell. Like having feelings and shit. It's tight. Never mind. Wow, that was really fast, Tyler. Are you good, dude? My literal wife, who married me and loves me, called me sexy 4 days ago, and I'm still riding that high. Men get one compliment every 3 to 5 business years and live off of it like camels. Can you imagine? I mean, that seems to be true. I don't get compliments at all, and I like to hold on to them, even though I don't know how to respond when someone gives me a genuine compliment, and I never have. However, if my wife is only complimenting me every 3 to 5 business years, and you know the wife would not be standing for only getting compliments from her husband every 3 to 5 business years. You know, he better be on that shit, right? But if I am only getting it the other way every few years from my wife, maybe we're not going to be wife and husband anymore. My 7-year-old brother did not go to weekend family lunch because he had some tournament on Roblox. My parents saw no problem with this excuse, came back from lunch, and separately asked him how his tournament went. What kind of generation gap is this? I don't know, but I'm actually going to be honest with you here. Kind of cool. No, it's just kind of cool. I'm telling you right now, if I told my mom at any age before 18, hey, I don't want to go do the family thing because I've got something that's already been penned in my video game, doesn't matter what video game, no, I'm not doing that thing in the video game because I just don't get to, right? The fact that these parents were like, yeah, dude, okay, fine. Hey, how did it go, dude? I mean, that's awesome. Is it not? What do you mean? Lil Nas X invited me backstage. Where the hose at? Dude, you are the hose. You know how flattered I would be if Lil Nas X invited me backstage, okay? I'm sorry. It would be so flattering. Thank you, honey. A GameStop in Colorado still has the Halo 3 mural up from 2007. We'll take it down when something better comes out. Are you sure, GameStop? You know, I'm pretty sure back home in Spokane, there's at least one GameStop that still has that Halo 3 mural, as well as a Mario Galaxy mural on the other side of the building. So I agree with the statement. A librarian makes $55K. They be quiet about it. That's not a lot of money. It's especially not a lot of money when you remember that a lot of librarians have master's degrees. They have master's degrees. If I spend anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 on my master's degree and you're only going to pay me $55K, I hope you burn in hell. That's insane. That's shit. It's just another underpaid profession that requires copious amounts of education. So yeah, let's not pretend that $55K is astonishingly amazing, because that's still not enough to afford like a frickin' 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States. I no longer feel hunger. Former competitive eating champion Takeru Kobayashi announced his retirement. This was the coolest possible thing to say. It was. That's super awesome, man. Start a problematic discourse? Respect your elders is just code for let old people get away with nonsense. I think it's less about letting them get away with nonsense. It's more about allowing them to continue to be abusive, because you're not allowed to be right in the presence of your elders. You're not allowed to correct your elders. You're not allowed to educate them on how the world now actually works, because they're not 25 anymore. They're in their 80s, and it's a little bit different. Respect your elders has, to me, always been, you, I'm older, therefore, shut up. That's how it's always felt to me. I mean, I respect everybody, not just my elders, but it seems like whenever respect your elders came up in my life, it was because they felt a little threatened that I might actually, as a person younger than them, know something they don't, or know that something has changed since they were younger like I am. Girl at a party asked to see my YouTube recommendations because it's a good test for red flags. And this was the first recommendation I had. What if Big Bird exploded in the Challenger disaster? Honestly, that one's not a red flag. Hold on. I'm gonna go see what my recommends are right now. Okay, here we go. We have The Yellow Diet from Killdozer_TV. The underscore is important. A movie I haven't finished watching called Made in Manhattan. A new upload from Critical. Brainwashing situation is crazy. Then a video called Twin Ion Letdowns from Cathode Ray Dude. Love that guy. Then something I've never seen before. Forgotten Seas, a launch trailer for a survival game. And then finally, the Boo music video on Pymations. That's my top 6 quote unquote recommended videos videos, and I'm only subscribed to, I think, one of those channels. Anyway, I will never forget when my mom tried to use her cancer to get my sister's boyfriend of 7 years to propose by saying, "Don't make me go to my oldest dollars? Don't make me go to my oldest daughter's wedding bald, Steve." And he looked this woman dead in the eyes and responded, "They make really good wigs now, Joan." Yeah, do not try to guilt trip me into something I'm not ready for. If someone calls you or tells you happy birthday in person, would you be upset if they didn't post you on social media? No, because I'm not insane. Look, I've been on social media a very long time. I still like it. I still enjoy it. I still have a good time with it, all things considered. Speaking of, you can find all my social media in the description down below. I mean, hell, I'd love to see you on my Instagram at itsboobin. But despite how long I've been on it, I'm not psychotic. It's not something I'm on every waking hour of the day. I don't need to post everything. Usually when I think of posting something, it's because it's a uniquely funny moment that I think people will also think is funny. But I'm not gonna post you on social media just because it's your birthday. Phillies are offering a 999 challenge of hot dogs and beers for the postseason. I mean, good for them, I guess. I'm not doing that. No way am I going to do that. Liam Neeson says horse in new film knew him from another movie. Liam Neeson walks on set. There he is! 1998 to 2004 American animation really had something going on and then just stopped for some reason. Oh, sorry, and then it just stopped for some reason. Well, let's look into something really quick. That first one, Treasure Planet, one of my favorite movies, and I think my favorite adaptation of Treasure Island ever. Let's look up Treasure Planet just very briefly here. It cost $140 million, estimated. That's the production budget. Usually we don't get to see, well, you know, the advertising budgets of this movie, so let's consider it to be potentially higher. Maybe even as high as $170 million after that advertising budget, okay? All right, awesome. Now, opening weekend in the United States and Canada, it made $12 million on 140. Now, worldwide, it made 110. That movie lost probably close to 30 or 80 million dollars, because even back then, you needed to make back double, triple your budget in order to actually run into profit. And I know that Hollywood accounting is bullshit and stupid. However, yeah, no, there was no way. And I feel like Atlantis made even less, right? I do wish this had stuck around because, in my opinion, this was the best big budget movie animation ever really got. But that's just, it just wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Whether or not you subscribe to the conspiracy theory that Disney purposefully killed Treasure Planet so that they would have a reason to slowly phase out 2D animation, I'm sorry. It is what it is. It really, really sucks, man. Doxing in 1500 BC. He lives over there. House was a weird show. Patients would be rushed to the hospital with unexplained fevers and heart problems, and House would come in and be like, "Did you check his asshole for toothpicks?" And they'd be like, "Damn, you're right." Well, they wouldn't be at first. It would take 40 minutes for someone to finally go, "Damn, you're right." But you are correct. It would eventually always end up being toothpicks in the asshole. There is nothing in the song Monster Mash that explicitly says it was a dance. Could have been an orgy. Okay, I read all the lyrics. It was definitely an orgy. See, what did I say earlier? Sometimes I look back on people I've dated and I'm like, Jesus Christ, was I on drugs? And yeah, I was. Clown school bully shoving 14 kids in a locker. Ooh, that implies some stuff about how clowns and clown magic works. So they brought an ice cream truck to school, and the ice cream man saw my hair and was like, "Oh, I have something for you," and gave me this. "I have a song for you. It's from the late 90s. Okay. Took 28 years to realize that no matter what the meeting is about, if you randomly chime in with, "It's just about finding that balance," people will always agree. I guess it's because it's always kind of true, isn't it? A Kentucky woman claims Kanye West telepathically told her to steal a car with a child inside, leading to her arrest. I actually believe he did this. The bad guy in Hallmark movies is a boyfriend who's like, "No, babe, I can't drop everything and leave work this weekend. I'm about to close a deal for $10 million that'll set us up for life." And the good guy is a guy who's just standing there when she gets to her hometown. If Hallmark made more Halloween movies, I would probably be more interested. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me see if they do make those. Oh my God, they do! They make a bunch! No! I'm in trouble, guys. Dude, the first movie that pops up when you look up Hallmark Halloween movies is Pumpkin Everything. Pumpkin Everything! Oh my god, that's so funny. Wow, I can't wait to watch every single one of these and hate them all, but they'll be my favorites. You ever read a manga where the character looks so full of aura in black and white, and then you check their official color scheme and it feels like this? Not a manga, but Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse. That's Mario. Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly has the most insane cultural footprint ever, because what do you mean the Crossroads meme comes from this show? Are you serious? Does it really? It's a card? No, you're messing with me. Nope, I'm not falling for it. You can't fool me. I'm too smart. What the hell? No way. Man, good start. 2 great posts right off the bat. I love it. Bravo. Emma Stone and her second Oscar. Looney Tunes ass background. It is true though. That's an interesting background choice. Good for her on her second Oscar. Do you think she's gonna win a third? My dad just realized that the apartment his unmarried aunt has been living in for the past 20 years with her best friend Irene has 1 bedroom. He's so confused. Does Irene sleep on the couch? She's 83. She shouldn't be sleeping on the couch. They were roommates. I never read or was interested in fan fiction until like 5 or 6 years ago. I stumbled across a shockingly well-written Harry Potter fanfic where he drops out of Hogwarts to join the SAS, and in the end, when he blows Voldemort's head off with a 50 caliber sniper rifle, I was just like, oh my god, I get it. See, fanfiction is amazing for many reasons, because where the fuck are you gonna find a book at Barnes & Noble that does this? Like an officially published book. Like Random House is not gonna put out Harry Potter and the 50 caliber sniper rifle. It's just not gonna happen, okay? But if you go to fanfic.com or whatever, you're gonna find the greatest shit you've ever seen in your entire life. It's amazing. Unironically though, some of my favorite written pieces ever have been fanfiction. I used to frequent FimFiction, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fanfiction website, all the time. Yes, epic lore dump for you guys. Back when I did Gmod videos and I was a horse, that wasn't an ironic thing. I love the ponies, okay? I love MLP. I still do. I'm still very much a part of that fandom. So if you're a fan of MLP, come check out my Twitter account, come hang out. You might even see me at like an upcoming MLP convention or something like that. But seriously though, some of these writers are insane. There's a guy that's still like, okay, not anymore. He used to write all the time on FimFiction called Short Skirts and Explosions. That dude, I hope he's out there writing novels because he writes 500,000 word fanfiction faster than Stephen King has written anything in his life. It's crazy what these people are able to do. And it opens up an entire world of free literature for you that is so good. It's so good, actually. And I know this sounds stupid as hell, but he said shockingly well written. Do you know how much anime is like that? Where it's shockingly well done, but the premise is so dumb, but you love it anyway? I was applying for homeowners insurance today, and they asked if I had any pets, to which I said, yes, 2 cats. And then they asked me, have they been trained to attack or cause bodily harm? And I wanted to know if anyone had been able to do this because I'll hire you. How do you train cats to do anything, let alone fight for you? If I would love to train a cat to just beat the crap out of home intruders, or just a friend. If you like say an activation phrase or snap your fingers, you can get them to say attack Zach. That would be really funny in my opinion, you know? Sometimes I get really concerned about things very suddenly. Like I'll be chilling, then all of a sudden be like, oh shit, where's my birth certificate? Honestly, I don't know. There's got to be an explanation for that, but I feel like all of us can relate to a certain degree because you might be thinking about, I should probably get a passport at some point. What do I need for a passport? Oh my God, do I know where any of that stuff is? Wait a minute, am I alive? You know, it's such a funny little spiral, isn't it? Or at least I like to think it is. I do think about that crap all the time. Do I know where my social security card is? I sure hope I do, because you never know when you're gonna need that son of a bitch again. Now do ya? Asked a friend to hang out, and he said he was in the middle of getting revenge and would be busy with that for the next week. Well, you can't leave us hanging. I know for a fact you asked more. You definitely asked some clarifying questions. Don't lie to me, Alex. There's more to this whole story you could be telling us, and yet you just drag on and on. Okay, you don't drag on and on. You're hiding it from us. What's the revenge? I need to know, okay? I might want to help. If the story's good enough, I'll be there for your friend. I'll volunteer first. I'm right up front. I'm the vanguard. Who are we getting revenge on and why? Stop screaming every time I leave the room. Stop dematerializing like a coward. If 9-month-olds understood memes, they would love this one. Maybe they do. You know, wasn't there there a whole movie series about how babies are actually insane geniuses? But like, there was something about the story. Like, babies start off as geniuses, they're super smart, like they are, but there's something that happens in their life that will cause them to lose their crazy intellect and just grow up normally. What the hell was going on in those goddamn movies, man? I knew a single guy in college that wore a fake wedding ring because it helped him get attention from women. He slept with dozens of women that thought he was cheating on his wife with them. When he told them he was single afterwards, they were all outraged. So I've been seeing this one on and off for years, and I don't buy this story for 1 second, okay? Look, I know there are shitty people out there, but there's no way, dude. There's no way, all right? Of course, I say that. I've never been to college. You know, I skipped that whole thing. I paved my own path. Whether or not I regret that remains to be seen, but nonetheless, I'm here. I went a different direction, so I might have missed out on some experiences, fundamentally, you know? I just don't buy this. As wild as college may or may not be, I just can't see it happening, rabid Wookie. I do not want to save to OneDrive. I want to save to the Documents folder on my computer that I have in my house. Yeah, I've become so sick and tired of all the cloud backup BS. It's everywhere, okay? And whenever they try to use it as like a selling point, they rescind it later. Like, I remember getting the first Pixel phone. It looked awesome. That phone did rule. Genuinely loved that thing. And they promised, hey, by the way, you'll get unlimited original quality photo storage if you buy this phone. And then they took that away from us like 2 years later, straight up. It's kind of insane, you know? I hate cloud storage. I do. I don't have really the ability to connect to it from outside of the house, but I do have a NAS in home that I use, and I will never, ever go back to exclusively running most of my stuff through my measly 100 gigabytes of Google Drive storage space. I only pay $20 a year for that. I'm probably going to find a way to finally close that off from my life at this point, because we really should be figuring this crap out. Asked my 5-year-old what she wanted for dinner, and she said, not a burned quesadilla, because in the summer of 2019, I overcooked one side of her quesadilla. Well, Todd, she's not going to let you forget because it's a failure you need to learn from, okay? So this is not a problem with her being sassy. This is a problem with you sucking at cooking, okay? You didn't pay attention. You thought because she was what? Oh yeah, okay, so she was 4, no, 3. Matt, she was really, goddamn, okay, maybe she needs to, do I know math? Maybe she's really just too, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry. You know, my brain got all twisted. I think I might be on your side now. How the hell she remember that? When TikTok convinces you to buy a projector and create faux windows in your bedroom, Plato clutching his chest and crying and throwing up right now. Look, I think it's a cute idea, but if my bedroom doesn't have a window, it's not a bedroom. I'm sorry. No way, no how. If I can, like, I'm in a basement room, so I can still see outside. I can see a fence. I can see the side of the neighbor's house, you know? That's something. But if I am in a place where I have to create fake windows, oh boy. I mean, what I'll do is probably go above and beyond. I'm not going to use a projector because I got to find a place to put that projector. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut a giant hole in the wall, and I'm going to build a structure that goes inward, right? Inward with, we'll say edge lighting at the bottom, okay? Cast light. I'll put like a picture of a city in the background or something like that. Hell, I might even do fake rain effects and whatnot. I'm going to make it look like the windows at the tiki room here, okay? I'm going to go above and beyond if I have to create a fake window. But point is, you should not be creating fake windows. You should hopefully have a room with one. Hell yeah, Benny Hanna up in this bitch. Oh man, every time I see this image, my soul cringes up into a wadded up ball of sadness because I am the clean freak. I know you know that, but I just have to point it out every single time I can remember. Texting your brother is like texting a boy that has zero interest in you. I would hope so. Yeah, what the hell does that... Did you think you had something there? What does that mean? Because yeah, man. Ew. Come on, yucky, dude. Breaking. Costco is introducing its own buy now, pay later program. Adults in the 80s, our child will have a bigger house than ours and a better paying job. Adults now, I have hot dog debt. Dude, adults in the 80s, I don't think they, you know, I feel like they didn't give a you know what I mean? I feel like adults and people that got to live through those times, you know, despite its downsides, I don't think they were really thinking about what they were voting for and what it was going to do to their children. I don't think they gave a I just can't believe it. There is no evidence in my eyes or in my own personal experiences, whatever, that leads me to believe that any parents voted in the best interests of their children because they didn't think their kids were going to grow up or whatever and become adults that also have to live a life as well. They were not voting in the best interests of the future generations because they were pissy at the future generations. I feel like they were trying to get some kind of revenge on us because kids are smartasses and raising kids is hard and, children are immature and that's how that works. I don't know. The wife goes, what if I had a special day where I got to keep the thermostat at 78 degrees? I'm living with an iguana. Dude, 78 degrees. You know, it is kind of crazy. We should be able to deal with 78 degrees. I do believe that air conditioning as a whole concept is starting to fuck up our evolutionary traits. I think it is. We're not prepped for a warming planet, but we are super not prepped for a warming planet because of the tools of excess that we have created for ourselves to be more comfortable, which I'm not blaming us for inventing things to be more comfortable. I feel like that's pretty freaking normal, but I digress. Metroidvania is such a terrible name for a genre. It's like, what if we called horror movies Dracusteins? Petition to expand this naming convention to all genres in every medium. Hey, it's longest solo ever. Love is in the details. With love, Megan. Or is it Megan? A new series premieres January 15th. Never before in the history of celebrity has there been so much supply for so little demand. And yet, David, tons of people you don't know are gonna watch this. That's just how it works. You claim there's no demand, and yet people are gonna watch it regardless. They're taking the Apple approach. We will tell you what you want and how much of it you want, and you'll do it. There is a reason Apple is like the largest name in technology ever, despite not really being all that innovative anymore in many ways, but it's because they would simply use psychology to get your ass. You like this. You want it. You're gonna buy it. Damn straight I will. I think it's cool. You think it's cool. You love it. Called my dog fat and then he threw up 15 minutes later. Now my mom is telling the family I gave him an eating disorder. Well, if the boot fits, what are we gonna call it? Okay? If it quacks like a duck and calls itself a duck, it's a duck. Why are conclusions necessary in essays? Were you not following? I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that I'm not following. It's nice to have reinforcement of your call to action, your statement. What you learned from it is interesting. And yes, I have been following for the most part. I don't read essays, obviously, but I think it's just good to reinforce things, okay? It helps me remember better because not everybody has great memory. I have really, really bad short-term memory, like really bad. So it's nice to have some repetition, okay? It's nice to come full circle on some stuff. It's just nice to organize things, okay? For people like me, it's easier. If I choose to pick up your essay for whatever reason, I'd like that. I like a conclusion. How does one become good at chess? You don't. The ability to play chess is the sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is the sign of a wasted life. I feel like you could say that about a lot of stuff, though. Not just chess. Like any video game. I'm kidding. There is no such thing as a wasted life. If you can say at any point that you have a bunch of happy memories that you get to look back on, you didn't waste anything, by the way. And does that not make time more interesting? It's something so precious and limited. It's something we have the least of, and yet we get to quote unquote waste it. It's just, there's something poetic and amazing about that ability. Even though I don't believe we're really ever really wasting any time, it's just kind of cool. You know what I mean? So, while being naked from the waist down, I made eye contact with my boyfriend and lifted my leg to fart. Instead, I pushed a little too hard and just pissed on the floor like a dog while making eye contact with this poor man. I remember this. I need to know what the aftermath was. Does he tell this story to people? Do you tell this story to people? Are you still dating? Did he marry you like immediately afterward? What happened? We gotta know. I just really wish we had a follow-up for this insane scenario. I feel so bad for you, but at the same time, it is one of the funniest things I have ever read on the internet. It's fantastic, real or not, it's beautiful, you know? It just sucks that we have to be left in such suspense, but I'll allow it. Me losing all my humor and social skills the minute someone I don't know joins the conversation? Well, it's because you don't know. You don't know how to vibe. You don't get what their vibe is. You don't know. If you're with your friend group that you've built all this rapport with over the years, of course, you're gonna be totally normal. But if someone you have not vibed with yet and only just now are meeting joins, you're gonna have to pump the brakes a little bit. You don't know what is okay or what they're gonna appreciate, right? So you gotta hold back for a little bit and learn, observe. Watch. I accidentally submitted a paper worth 35% of my grade with this intro because I was tired and forgot to delete. I'm gonna cry. Orwell's 1984. Big Brother is manipulating you. Buckle your seatbelts, motherfucker, because in 8 short pages, I'm gonna teach you something that I only learned 2 hours ago. Sit down, shut up, and enjoy the experience of my 4 a.m. caffeine-induced self-hatred-fueled writing extravaganza. I would really hope that as long as you did well on the rest of this, they wouldn't take that away. I'm so tired of decorum ruining people's everything, you know? Like, I get professionalism. I do. I really do. But god damn it, can we have a little bit of levity in the world? Just a tiny bit of push and pull, you know? Even though I gotta be honest, don't know how that would have been possible for you to forget to delete that. No idea, but I guess if it was a 4 a.m. induced or caffeine-induced fury that you were going through, maybe I could see. But I just hope you still got a good grade because you did well enough, right? Just, I guess out of that, maybe not the best to admit you did it in 2 hours. Is 30 too late to lock in? Mads Mikkelsen got his first movie role at age 31. I mean, you gotta remember though, it was something he was always working towards. He was bald when it... Anyway, sorry, I was a little distracted by that. I do appreciate all the sentiment of there is still time. You never know. I mean, Alan Rickman didn't start booking giant movies until he was in his 40s, right? Wasn't he 42 or 43 when he got Die Hard and whatnot? So the thing is that I think a lot of people might maybe forget is that these guys are 80 to 100 hours a week looking for that work, bettering every aspect of themselves. And nothing's gonna magically happen for you. Even if you're a Nepo baby, you still gotta do some goddamn work. You still, a lot. So I feel like he put in 20,000 hours or something insane long before getting any role, let alone his first movie role, you know? That is so not him. What the hell though, right? What the hell? Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna get back to not auditioning for anything. Why is the save mark in Excel a vending machine? A vending machine. Japan or not, what vending machine looks, wait, hold on, I want to take a look. You just look up Japanese vending machine, I could see some similarities. Oh, well, maybe. Sorry, I saw a picture of a couple others that look slightly more like it. Obviously, we know what it is. We know it's a floppy disk. You and I know because we're old, right? We know what a floppy disk is. And if we're not old, we were poor, because that's usually how it works. If you're younger and you know what a floppy disk is, you might either have been interested in old technology or just grew up a little bit more poor, so you got to experience some of that older shit because it was a necessity, like me. Hell, I used to have a small collection of America Online floppy disks with 1,000 free hours of connectivity. If I'm ever murdered or kidnapped, please don't make up lies about me. I do not light up a room. Everyone doesn't want to be my friend. People don't automatically take notice of me. I have a smart mouth and 2 friends. Tell 2020 that. Tell 2020 that. I mean, I know what you're getting at. Same. I've got 8 friends in total. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Some are closer than others, for sure. But close family friends, fewer than 10. But I feel like that's pretty normal at any age. If we're talking 4 life friends that you're interacting with on a near daily basis, Silk Song is harder. The night was tough as hell. Siblings after going through run back hell. Man, I wish I was good at video games. Genuinely wish I was good enough to play some of these. I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not. I'm never gonna try any of these crazy games. I'm never gonna try Silk Song, Hollow Knight, any Dark Souls game. Nothing. I can't do it. Despite how much I would love to experience what's going on narratively in these games, I just don't have it in me. And I know, coming from a guy that loves survival horror games and has beaten all the Resident Evil, Silent Hills, blah blah blahs, those aren't particularly hard. They're just scary. Some of them are scary. That's why I'm scared to play Silent Hill F, because I hear it's really freaking hard, even if you play it on story difficulty, man. Protect your peace. Play the game the way you wanna. Spits mouthful of blood onto the floor. You become far more powerful since we last crossed paths. Dentist, please stop. There's literally a sink right next to you. Guess what's coming? Weird flex from an aquarium. They don't ID me at the liquor store anymore because they see the light has left my eyes. You might need to cut back a little bit then, my friend. If you're becoming a regular at the liquor store, just stop. Just chill. Just don't anymore, okay? Just finished putting together a bookshelf and I only had 10 screws left over. Y'all would never believe what happened. God damn. Look, depending on where you bought it from, I won't even blame it on you. If you got it from IKEA during the pandemic, I'm not blaming it on you. Shit was exploding. They could not make anything to save their lives coming from IKEA during the pandemic, dude. I mean, you didn't get it during the pandemic. I see the date, but anyway. Tell me what you smiling about today. My girl cheated on me with a married man, and the wife beat her up. Boom! There you go. I mean, I guess if there's going to be a silver lining, that's one. That is it. Sure. There you go. You get a little bit of something out of it, I suppose. Still not going to change anything. You still need to end that relationship for the rest of your life. You can only eat food from one of these regions. Which do you choose? If you don't pick D, I fundamentally don't trust you. So I wouldn't pick D. I saw this tweet. I already came up with it, what I would pick. I'm going with G. And the reason I'm going with G is because that's where New Orleans is. That's where Louisiana is. That's where I'm going to get my gumbo. It's where I'm going to get my jambalaya, my proper food. Okay? And look, Disneyland is still there. Cool. I can go and get Disneyland's fake version of all those things whenever I visit. But no, I'm sticking with G because I want my Cajun. I want my Creole. I want that. The rest of it, I'm okay with not having anymore. You know, I got to be honest with you. I could eat gumbo till I'm dead. Chat GPT. Wikipedia is my ride or die. If I'm going to be misinformed, I want to be misinformed by the people. Wikipedia is actually more reliable than most textbooks thanks to the unparalleled might of global-scale, fully weaponized autistic pedantry. Dude, the people that keep Wikipedia up to date are better than all of us. I'm sorry. They get to be better than all of us. There is no privilege like British accent privilege. Americans will grant you 20 IQ points for nothing. It depends on the British accent. It really does, okay? Because there are some where we'll treat it like a deep South accent here. We're like, you're dumb, brother. Right? Right? Yeah? Like, I'm sorry. Some of them are not getting that privilege. You need to be from like Cambridge or something like that in order to get it. It's very specific British accents, okay? And Australian accents, you get the hot factor, I think, for a lot of people, but they don't get IQ point privilege, that's for sure. The funny thing about ads is that they're supposed to entice you to purchase their products, but it actually just makes me want to not buy it because seeing the ad when I just wanted to watch YouTube pissed me off, and now I have resentment against the company the ad came from. And no effort is put into ads anymore. If humans colonize another planet, what should be the very first rule we all agree to uphold? Don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone. A meeting of minds. Evil wizard.
Who is this undead army at my command? There is no one who could possibly hope to stop me and my plans to bring the kingdom to ruin.
The humble D&D adventuring party. You cannot eat money or love. Skill issue, dude. People still don't know this? That 4chan has been the prime supplier for memes for like the last decade or more? It's always been that way. 4chan to Reddit to Tumblr and YouTube to Twitter and finally your mom's Facebook feed. Gene Park, you are a legend. You rule. Seriously, if you like video games, you should be following Gene Park for sure. He is the man when it comes to that stuff. But he's right. Unfortunately, 4chan is where so much of what you know and like about internet culture has, not all of it, but a decent chunk of it has come from there, okay? Having adult money means you can buy your favorite candy in bulk. I have a tummy ache. First look at Absolute Joker in the Absolute Batman comic series. What kind of joke is this motherfucker gonna tell? Teenager marries dead boyfriend in coffin. You can tell my guy in blue came just so he could see this shit for himself and still couldn't believe his eyes. Human, we have a color named after you. Salmon. Really? Is it silvery blue like my outsides? No, wait, why is it pink? Why is it pink? The world's oldest baby has been born from an embryo frozen in 1994. Thaddeus Daniel Pierce is over 30 years old despite being born July 26, 2025. Look at him, comfortably sucking on that pacifier and taking nappy time. Grown-ass man, 30 years old, get a job. Why do people slap the remote when it's not working? Why does it work after you slap it though? Remember, if your flight gets canceled, most airports have a secret fleet of backup planes with lots of seats, but they're only available if you're mean enough to low-level employees. It's true. I was mean enough once. It works. 1969, we could send people to the moon with 4 kilobytes of RAM. 2025, a cloud outage means my smart bed won't cool down. Unleash the animal in you. The animal in me. Let's be real. This is the animal in most of us because this is what we want to be. This is what I aspire to be. This is who I aspire to be just like. I want to be the satisfied fat piggy in the corner of the house with not a care in the world other than where their slop is coming from next, you know, or when it's coming next. Of course, I don't mean slop as in the term we use for basically any videos we don't like here on YouTube anymore. No. I mean my good, delicious slop that keeps me fed, physically speaking, not entertainment-wise. Gimme. Why does Amazon tell me only 2 left in stock, order soon? You order soon. You're the store. Oh, you're a people pleaser? Name 3 people that are pleased with you. Ooh. Ooh, no, you got me there. I do tend to be a people pleaser, but it doesn't work. No one's pleased with my ass, that's for sure. Like, no one. Everyone is genuinely upset with me at all times, I think, at this point. I want to record an audiobook that's 8 hours of breathing and page turning. Then just, oh, you mean out loud, right at the end. That's someone's kink. Look, I'm just saying that someone would really like that. There'd be at least one guy out there that will pay you an undisclosed amount of money to make that happen. It's up to you, Raw Sauce, who is now apparently a private account. But that is a fun idea. I think we should do that. We'll do a Christmas charity, a live stream here on EmKay, and that's what we'll do. It'll just be us, again, like we've done in past live streams, breathing heavily and giggling at memes and then not actually reading any of them to you. I'm gay and my husband's bi, and there's nothing he loves more than when people ask if he's gay and he gets to say, I'm not gay, but my husband is. You live for something like that. I just tell people I'm half gay all the time. Actually, someone did get mad at me once for saying that. I don't know why. Stay mad, I suppose. A mattress company called 8 Sleep went offline during the Amazon Web Services outage yesterday, leaving customers unable to use their beds. What do you mean, bro? Just sleep on it. See, that's a good point, Steve. That is a good point. However, if your bed is stuck in a upright, well, not fully upright position, like that, if it's stuck in that position, I'm sorry, I'm a side sleeper. I don't know a single person who sleeps flat on their back. I know some people that sleep on their stomach sometimes, but not really comfy for that if you're a side sleeper at all. So I'd have to like figure something else out. I'd have to sleep on the floor. This, if it hasn't hit you yet, is why smart everything is garbage and trash, and it is slowly eroding so much of our lives. You know, it's cool, fun gimmicks right up until you can't turn your lights off because Amazon went down and now your smart bulb won't connect and all this stupid shit because nothing can work off of just Wi-Fi anymore. Oh no, it needs to be connected to the wide area network. It needs to be connected to the internet in order to function, which is batshit insane. But then again, it's all in the name of wiretapping you and stealing your data and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know what this company needs your sleeping data for. Like, not like how often you sleep or how long you sleep or anything. They just want to know what position you're sleeping in, and they're going to use it for something. I just don't know what. But it's insane that that's where we are. My friend/kidney recipient is doing very well, but noticed she was going to the bathroom at night a lot. She asked her doctors, and it turns out her new kidney is still operating on my schedule. How does that even work? A bio memory? All right, so you got to log into your other kidney and click log out on all other devices. The button is up in the top right, and you go settings, security, and activate 2-factor authentication while you're at it. I'm never leaving. Well, now that the algorithm of Twitter is officially being replaced entirely by Grok, I think we're all going to be leaving soon. Thought they'd be bigger, to be honest. This is honestly so embarrassing. Now, is he that small because he was suddenly yoinked from the bottom of the ocean? Are they actually a little bit bigger? You know what? Hold on a second. We're going to anglerfish size. Let's take a look here. So they are, some can reach up to 4 feet in length. So that's pretty big, okay? But it looks like the average seems to be between 8 to 16 inches or 20 to 40 centimeters long. So that is sizable, you know. That guy is really tiny, though. That dude looks like he's 4 or 5 inches long, tops, based on the hand that he is in, okay? But overall, they're definitely larger than this image likes to let on. They've gotta be. Can y'all please tell me the lore behind your profile pictures? Gave my 3-year-old son a digital camera, and this is one of the first photos he took. And it's a cool photo. I did actually scroll past this tweet on my own recently, and I gotta say, yeah, I like it. I think it's cool, especially knowing that it was taken by your son at 3 years old. That's awesome. You're never allowed to change it. Actually, okay, caveat, or not caveat, addendum, asterisk, whatever you want to call it. You can change your photo, but again, it has to be photos he takes exclusively from here on out. So as he grows up, if he keeps taking photos and gets better at it, you get better and better looking profile photos that are still very meaningful, right? Ah, see, we're smart. One of my clearest memories of my grandfather is when he beat me in chess and I cried because I was a sore loser. And he said, okay, I'll play you left-handed. And then I won, and it took me until like last week to realize he was a clown bastard. Okay. I really like clown bastard. That's awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's all I can really say. We all need someone like this grandfather in our lives. A clown bastard. We all deserve at least one. I ordered a chicken salad and look at this shit. Some people hit the jackpot and still find something to complain about. I'm gonna be honest with you, that does just look like a bowl of chicken. I feel like I could see some salad beneath it. Some, okay? But you guys are allowed to just eat chicken. You don't have to hide it behind salad or anything like that. Trust me, you don't have to do that if you don't want to do that. If you want to eat a bowl of chicken, you eat a bowl of chicken. That's okay. We're allowed to do whatever we want to do within our budgets, within our means. You know what I mean? So go for it. Hell, you want to be a psycho? You fill that sucker with milk, now you got chicken cereal. You go for it, dude. You go for it. You've earned it. I need more dynamics like this in media. The dumb one, even dumber than me. Main character. I see, even with glasses, it's too small for me. The main character, dumb. The smart one, actually also dumb. You want Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, that is the perfect trio dynamic, okay? Dumb, dumb, and dumber. That's really all you need, okay? It's like if Mike and Zach over on Pymations added the landlord character as a permanent third character. You have dumb and dumber with Mike, and the landlord, me, Robin, and then Zach is the kinda smart one. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks, dude. It's a perfect trio. What the hell was she going through? I'll cry if I want to. It's my party. Cry me a river. Cry. Just let me cry. Cry and you cry alone. No more tears. Judy's turn to cry. I understand. I would. Misty, what kind of fool am I? This seems like an album that I'd give one listen to. I'll give it a listen. See how it is. It seems like it's a bit of a downer, but you know how artists are. They gotta let that shit out sometimes, and I'm not blaming them for that. That's totally normal in my opinion. In my humble opinion, DVD special features were really important to me years old. But you're 28 years old? Like, what do you... I have gotten... I'm not annoyed. I do find it funny. I find it really funny when people go, I remember what VHS tapes were. Yeah, I'm 29 years old. You're old, but are you, I owned a Wii old? Yes, I am 24 years old. What do you mean, man? In hindsight, I can't fault kids for thinking 67 or 67 is funny. We memed the letter E for like a solid couple months at one point, which is true. I have always been a big proponent of, while you don't understand the humor that's going on right now because you are, you've aged out of it, you're moving on, you're doing different things, your humor was just as f***ing stupid. It was, and there's nothing wrong with that. I grew up in the era of E and the Rage comics, or whatever the hell they were called, trololol, all that stupid shit. Hell, the very first exposure to an actual meme I ever had was as a small child when my aunt bought a book called I Can Has Cheeseburger. You guys remember that motherfucker? You remember I Can Has Cheeseburger? You remember the Chuck Norris jokes, the Mr. T jokes? My first exposure to memes were when they started getting published in books, okay? Like proper, right? So that shit was stupid. It really was. But there's nothing wrong with it being a little dumb. New rule. Never trust how you feel about your life past 9 p.m. I genuinely think this image has saved lives. Probably. When you start like sitting in the dark, you start reminiscing. Sometimes it's good reminiscing, but it's very easy to fall into the trap of, Fight Club was booed when it premiered at the 1999 Venice Film Festival. Edward Norton remembers it got booed hard, and organizers walked out. During the backlash, Brad Pitt turned to Norton and said, "That's the best movie I'm ever going to be in." When it comes to boos and cheers at film festivals, there's a really, really weird relationship with them, Getting booed at like Cannes, isn't that like actually awesome? Don't you want to get booed at Cannes or something like that? You've seen headlines about movies getting 10, 15, 20-minute standing ovations, right? And the longer, obviously, the better. So if you get a 5-minute standing ovation, your movie kind of sucked. They didn't really like it. But if it gets an 18-minute standing ovation, beautiful. However, if you get booed, I don't know, dude. It's kind of like Fire Walk with Me from David Lynch and Mark Frost. That premiered at Cannes, and that got booed, right? Booed. So film festivals apparently have a very weird relationship with cheering and booing and whatnot. It's very, very odd, and I can't wait to experience it firsthand when Sundance, the film festival here in the U.S., moves over to Boulder, Colorado, because I'll actually get the chance to go to it. Oh no, it's Shea Farilla's. Funniest thing you can do in a TV show is a flash flashback for a bald character where they have full insane hair. Yeah, that's a perfect example right there, because that hair is wild. How fast did Squidward go bald? It must have been like a week, it all just fell out. A $600 toilet sensor that scans your waist for health insights has been announced. Kohler's Dakota also has a fingerprint scanner to differentiate between users. Mom, the toilet won't flush because Amazon Web Service is down. Yeah, exactly, okay? And you know what the worst part about this $600 toilet sensor is? That scans your poo and your pee to maybe invent something. You know what? This is the type of device that will give you hypochondria. I'm just saying, do not buy it. But the worst part about it, besides being a smart device, is that it comes with a monthly fee. So you spend $600+ on your poo machine, on your little poo laser, and you have to pay for it forever if you would like to keep using it forever. No, that is utterly fucking insane. Chat, rate my Steam library 1 to 10. You have 7 games: Call of Duty Black Ops 3, yikes, Detroit Become Human, EA Sports FC 25, Grand Theft Auto 5 Enhanced, Grand Theft Auto 5 Legacy, and Until Dawn. You have 2 Grand Theft Auto 5s in this library. That is amazing. And come on, Black Ops 3? Motherfucker. What? Does anybody give a shit about Black Ops 1? The best Call of Duty they ever made? Bro got the video games just aren't good anymore starter pack. Yeah. There are a lot of people out there that only play this list right here. What a lot of people will play, and it wouldn't surprise. I'm not to say anything about Nathan. I don't know who he is. I'm just making a joke. But this is the type of motherfucker right here that's like, ugh, woke. Probably not. Again, I don't know. But I see a library like this, and I would probably assume, unfairly, mind you, that a female protagonist in the game is going to make this guy go, ugh, politics. Ozzy Osbourne had 2 bottles of vodka and then sang for 3 hours every other night for 3 decades. Broke a rule by eating a snack bar before bed. It completely messed up my glucose and I woke up feeling ill. Won't do that again. I get the joke. It is that guy. I will say, based on what I knew about him, his insane reputation, the age he made it to, mind-blowing. And it does make me wonder, if he was like perfectly sober and healthy for his entire life, do you think he would have lived to be like 140 years old? Some of these guys, it genuinely makes you wonder, right? Like, you took a lot of hours off of your life by seriously drinking and doing drugs like every goddamn night for 30, 40 years. Just imagine where you'd be now. Like David Lynch, for instance. He died at 78 years old back in February, right? And he said he had been smoking since he was 8. He smoked daily for like 70 years. And the last couple years of his life were not great, because he said he couldn't even really walk anymore due to how hard it was for him to breathe. As he said, that was the price to pay. Like, can you imagine if he never started smoking? Would he have not made it to 200 years old? I mean, seriously. Hate when a job asks you to set goals. My only goal is to remain employed so that I can continue to pay for my living expenses while finding fulfillment in the areas of my life unrelated to a day job. I just hate companies in general that know they're not anybody's first choice. Walmart, no one wants to work for you as a stalker forever. Target, same deal. Kmart, you're out of business. No one wants to be there with you. I mean, I totally get and respect someone that likes it, right? I know people that work in Amazon warehouses, they're fucking dream. They love what they do. Genuinely, they do exist, and it's a real thing. But I do hate companies that have jobs that are designed that, like, they need to get done, they will pay your bills. They won't here in the United States, but that's the idea, right? And they still try to, like, push this idea of, we're not a workplace, we're a family. Yeah, this is where you make a career out of this. Like, I know you want to reduce turnover, but you are nothing to me. Stocking the dairy section for the next 40 years of my life, I'd rather just die now, And that's not arrogance. That's my preference, But I just really hate that companies are still doing this to people. You know what you are. Just give me the job. Did I ever show this text interaction with my grandmother? Oh my, he has a headache. Honestly, she's read that image correctly. More correctly than anyone else, mind you. Sorry, I just smacked my goddamn hand on my desk. That was awesome. My architecture teacher slowly realizing that my work is a 1 to 200 replica of his second family's house. I need a 130% score to pass. It feels like a good 30% of memes these days are genuinely compelling story hooks that you could build an entire show off of. Really? I mean, I guess I'd give this show a try. Yeah, I mean, I'll try anything, dude. Every YouTube analog horror series is just the same shit. It'll be called something like The Scrimblow Files, and every jump scare is something like this. Back in, 2021? Absolutely, yeah. There are a few analog horror series that are genuinely peak. You know, I think the first ones that came out were amazing. When it comes to analog horror specifically, I would say Local 58's the best that's ever done it, and the best that will ever do it. In my opinion, they are the best, genuinely. Even they sort of, because they started a lot of the tropes that you see now like this. I mean, I don't know if they did this specifically, I'm pretty sure they didn't, but they started a lot of shit, okay? Local 58 was amazing, and is amazing because they're not gone. Biggest inspiration I have here on YouTube at this point, actually. Now, analog horror adjacent, like say Cane Pixels, also incredible. There's a lot of low effort stuff out there, and a lot of this stuff is a trope because of how many people started to make fun of the fact that they saw it becoming a trope. So half of this crap is because someone made it as a joke to make fun of the genre as a whole. Never do this. Passing off someone else's work as your own. This grok image effect with blah, 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 blah. Hey, look, an AI artist got hurt because somebody stole his prompt. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you, regardless of what anybody says, are an AI artist, you're not, get mad that someone took your prompt, or you try to, I swear to God, if you try to gatekeep your prompts, that is the lamest shit ever. Because you are clearly afraid that someone will take what little creative input you had, almost like you're doing to every artist you've ever seen by utilizing a generative piece of software. Major cheat code in life. Be the one who reaches out. Text first, call first, plan first, initialize first. Most people wait to be chosen. Be the chooser. Connection requires initiative. Friendship requires effort. Love requires action. Stop waiting to be picked. Start picking. Initiative is attractive. That has been a very hard thing for me to come to terms with because I am a lonely, whiny baby. You know, I don't always want to go out and do things, but it does hurt that no one ever asks me. But I'm starting to realize the reason no one ever reaches out to me, aside from I have a couple people that reach out all the time and I appreciate the hell out of them, even though we never really hang out because I'm weird. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I can't, but anyway, I digress. I have started to realize that the vast majority of us are not reaching out first. So it's mutually assured destruction, right? I am trying to be better about it. I'm not kidding. If you have a friend that you want to hang out with, don't text them. Call their phone whenever the you want. Let it go to voicemail if they're busy. Whatever. Just seriously, give them a call. My grandma told me she found a cool show on Netflix. Turns out she's been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Why is that weird? Grandma can enjoy whatever she wants, melted computer. Travis Kelce is teaming up with an activist group to invest in and revive Six Flags. Plays professional football, marries the biggest pop star in the world, and is spending his time and money on roller coasters. Are we sure he didn't find a genie when he was 11? Honestly, I'm confused about teaming up with an activist group to invest in and revive Six Flags. I'm sorry, I don't care about him reviving Six Flags. I am not a thrill rides guy. I'm a dark rides guy. So I want more Disneyland clones, fewer Six Flags. Mr. Beast, I'm giving 2 people $500,000. Me, wow, that's so generous. If they stay in prison for 100 days. Oh, is the dehumanizing part necessary? Gotta go. I'm meeting with a chemo patient to see if they'll wear a wig made out of rat fur for $100,000. The dehumanizing part is how he pays for all of it, you know, because you watch it. That's genuinely how this works. He found the perfect loop. You make a ton of money with a stupid challenge. You give somebody a cut of that money. The dehumanizing content, the reality television, pays for the next stupid dehumanizing thing that gets somebody a couple bucks. What I wish is that no matter who was involved in this, everybody involved got a hefty payday, okay? Look, even if I lose on Wheel of Fortune, I'll walk away with $1,000. They'll give me $1,000, and after taxes, I'll get home with like 500, right? That is something for being there and playing a game show. I don't think he does that for everybody. If you lose, you f***ing lose, and now you were just treated like shit for a video. I feel like everybody who's a part of one of these videos should get a $10K payday after taxes minimum regardless, because he can afford it. All right, 43 years old, new girlfriend, new yacht, no kids, crypto millionaire. No such thing. Oh, the Labubu. Does it get any better than this? Mr. Nick O'Neill, choose rich, misled and embarrassed me with this post. I was paid $400 to act in some skits. I had to confirm what skits I was comfortable with. I didn't know this pic was being posted, and I didn't know the caption. He also refused to tag me after in anything. He only paid you $4? See, I would say that leads me to believe that he's not a crypto millionaire, because he could pay a lot more, but then I remembered people with infinite money will try to f you over on pay until the day they die, because they'll run out if they pay you a fair price, of course. I bought $250,000 worth of physical nickels. No, that's not a typo. There are tears running down my face. This website is like a parking garage full of addicts. Why would you do that? What are you doing with those nickels, dude? Lasagna asks the question, what if pasta were a book? Is it asking that question? Or are you really tired? Just threw an Ultra Ball at a child because I thought it was a shiny Ralph? I love Pokemon tweets. That could also be someone tweeted in the... Oh, I read it wrong. I love Pokemon tweets that could also be something someone tweeted in the Pokemon world. Only an Italian could look at a radiator and think, this would hold sauce well, and be correct. I mean, art imitates life. Taylor Swift celebrates her 13th Grammy win by announcing her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, coming April 19th. You have got to be f***ing kidding. Scyther fainted. Scyther is no longer pumped up. Sorry, man. I accidentally watched like 3 minutes of the new Smiling Friends episode in Spanish, and I didn't question everyone speaking Spanish because it just seemed like something they would do. Honest to God, yeah, especially after that one sequence where they did randomly speak Spanish, right? Fantastic. See, in my opinion, Smiling Friends is a beautiful encapsulation of like modern humor. You know, I showed my mom Smiling Friends expecting her to be like, okay, this is incredibly stupid. She enjoyed it. She didn't like understand all of it, but no one understands all of what the is going on in Smiling Friends, okay? You know, speaking of Smiling Friends, I want to voice act on that show so bad because that's like my main thing. So if the Zam boys are watching EmKay at all, hey man, I'm right here. You know, let's start a campaign to get me in Smiling Friends. I spilled my freaking JPEG compression. Oh, dude, put it back. Oh no. It's a huge injustice that Squidward is considered a bad artist in universe. Like, this guy learns all kinds of art forms, presumably mostly self-taught, and all he uses those skills for is creating artworks of himself. What a power move. He is good at what he does. Guy on my Steam friends list changed his name, so I checked up on him only to discover he's been leveling up. Ooh, what could be next? Whenever anybody uses the what if X property was anime, they just slap on stereotypical anime eyes and spiky hair, regardless of what genre the source material is. Anime Homer would realistically look like a Shin-chan, or a character or something. Don't know who that is. Is that an AI Homer though? Thanks a lot, dude. You think your life is hard? Try being stuffed with meat 24/7. What? A shark could swim faster than me, but I could probably run faster than a shark. So, in a triathlon, it would all come down to who is the better cyclist. Cannot express how long the Trojan horse would have sat outside my city gates before I gathered the energy to go grab it. Those Greeks would have starved in there. Tom, you gotta work some shit out. My brother split up with his girlfriend and removed her from the family WhatsApp, but we all really liked her, so we created a new group with her, but without him. This has now become the main family WhatsApp. Damn, I just wouldn't talk to any of y'all anymore. Like, straight up, I'm out. Whole Foods is out here tearing families apart. No! Which one's better though?